Right, Wolves, let's stick to them, shall we? 2 points in their opening 15 matches. They are on track to become the worst Premier League side of all time. And in fact, it's the joint lowest tally after 15 games of a campaign in the history of any side in any of the top 4 tiers. It's looking so ominous for them as well. And what's worrying as well is that, Rob Edwards has come in and there's absolutely no manager bounce at all. They were booed off against Manchester United.
Doesn't matter though. Doesn't matter. It's all fine. It's okay. Jeff Shee's been on local radio. He says it doesn't matter. He says, I feel relegation or staying up is a kind of technical word.
Wow.
Just as I feel people try to emphasise its importance or not. Of course, it's important because it will incur different revenue for 1 year. But in the meantime, inside the club, I feel it's not as serious as some views from outside, or that which league we will play in next season will be such a weighty thing for us.
Oh, wow. Stuart Pearce, what's your reaction to that? Because I know what mine is. And if I was a fan of Wolverhampton Wanderers, I know exactly the words that will be coming out of my mouth, and they're not radio worthy.
Yeah, it's almost the words of somebody that doesn't understand what's coming from the terraces and how these people feel about the product that they're coming to watch at this moment in time. I mean, it's soul destroying for the players, the supporters, everybody, and Wolves have turned up. We're looking across at their away support. Chocker once again here at Arsenal. They're travelling down, and in their heart of hearts they know best they can probably get is a low-scoring defeat, sadly.
That's a disgraceful way of approaching it, though.
Unbelievable.
He's just trying to hoodwink supporters, trying to say that relegation doesn't matter. Of course it matters.
Yeah.
The whole point is to stay in the Premier League and try and be competitive in the Premier League. What's the point otherwise in trying to get up the year after?
How on earth does it inspire any confidence of the team that are coming out onto the pitch right now here at the Emirates as well? Interestingly, the club's hierarchy did admit that they got some of their transfer business wrong in the summer. You saw key figures like Matthias Cunha, Rayan Aït-Nouri and Nelson Semedo. They all left. 6 players were brought in with no Premier League experience. So they've given themselves absolutely no hope, and it sounds like the board are just deflecting now. But do you know what? They've got a job to do today, and it's a big job as well against this Arsenal side who have their sights on the top of the table, who have their sights on the Premier League title, even if Wolves seem to be a side that don't want to be participating in this competition next season. Well, do you know what? There's only been 4 occasions in the history of the Premier League where the bottom side has beaten the top side. Interestingly, twice it was Wolverhampton Wanderers who did it. They beat Manchester United both occasions at Molineux in January 2004 and February 2011. Can they be the team to beat the top side in the Premier League tonight on this really gorgeous night here at the Emirates? Don't know. Arsenal have won their last 8 Premier League games against them, so it's a tall order, but it is the Premier League and absolutely anything can happen. So the players are out on the pitch, kick-off is imminent, and it's time to hand you over to our commentary team then. Stuart Pearce, Nottingham Forest legend and the former England captain, and Talksport's chief football commentator Sam Matterface. Over to you guys.
Well, thank you, Reshmi. Evening, everyone, and welcome to the Emirates Stadium in North London, where the current best meet the worst in the Premier League. Rob Edwards only took over Wolves in November, but already he is realising his task of saving them looks a forlorn one. Wolves haven't beaten anyone yet. How on earth they're going to beat the team that have won 10 of their 15 Premier League games and only conceded 9 goals? I'm not at all sure. And although the Premier League is the most unpredictable, most entertaining and most compelling league in the world, top hasn't lost to bottom at home in the top flight of English football since Reagan was re-elected, the first Apple Mac was released and the miners were on strike. It was 1984. It was so long ago that it's barely mentioned now. But that team were Wolverhampton Wanderers. Steve Mardenborough scored at Liverpool for a Wolves side that would go on to be relegated. But can this Wolves side and their 19-match Premier League run without a win against this Arsenal side? Let's find out. Arsenal in red and white Wolves in old gold and black usually, but not tonight. They're in turquoise and green. Our referee is Rob Jones. The VAR is John Brooks. And Talksport has already whizzed you around the grounds. And now it's time for an exclusive commentary. All the Arsenal fans on their feet with their red and white scarves above their heads as the strains of the Angel do the rounds at the Emirates Stadium ahead of kick-off. Before Arsenal have the opportunity to turn on a pack of Wolves, live and exclusive to National Radio, it's Arsenal against Wolverhampton Wanderers.
It's the Arsenal versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. Come on,
Arsenal shooting from left to right in those red shirts with white sleeves, white shorts and red socks. It's the turquoise and green of Wolverhampton Wanderers attacking the goal away to our left. Stuart Pearce is here. Wolves the lowest scorers, and they take on the best defence, who have been bolstered by the return of William Saliba. They've also got the best team in the league. Is there any way they don't get chewed up and spat out here?
Well, you would say not, but it's going to be a rearguard action that's going to have to preserve their goal, and on top of that, when the few chances come, they're going to have to take one of them.
Well, you have to go back to April for Wolves' last taste of victory, while Arsenal looking to prove that last weekend's defeat to Villa was just a blip and not a buckle. Here is Martinelli down the left-hand side, looking to release Declan Rice, running through towards the edge of the Wolverhampton Wanderers penalty area. Mosquera nudges the ball out to the right fullback position, but Declan Rice gets it back and then works his way to the cross angle of the box and then sends it centrally. It's cleared away by Wolves, and then João Gomez and Doherty sandwich Martinelli, and the free kick is given 12 yards back from the edge of the area over on the left-hand side. I thought was really interesting, actually, was that 12 of Arsenal's first 17 Premier League goals came from set-piece situations, and since then their last 11 have all come from open play, but they have an early set-piece here with Declan Rice preparing to take it a minute and a half into the game. He sizes up the opportunity. There is a Wolves line which is 12 yards from the goal line away to our right. The back edge of that line is backloaded with a contingent from Arsenal who are going to try and break into the middle of the penalty area as this ball is whipped in, an in-swinger from Declan Rice over on the far side. 1 minute 42 seconds play. Rob Jones blows his whistle and the free kick is about to be launched into the box. The players from Arsenal run across the line and then make a movement in towards the edge of the 6-yard box. It's headed away by stooping Matt Doherty, who's returning to the first team lineup today. It wasn't the best of deliveries from Declan Rice and goes out of play on the far side. 0-0.
Yeah, just looking at the Arsenal back line, Timber's playing right central defender, would you say, within that?
Yeah, that's what we thought he would do.
Yeah.
He did that when he came off the bench when you and I were here against Brentford, didn't he? And he stayed there for the Aston Villa game.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think he's been outstanding in both performances.
And then Saliba's gone to the left of him, and then further left of the left fullback position is Piero Hincapié. Wolverhampton Wanderers lining up with what's probably going to end up being a back five for most of the night, really. They are in crisis. They arrive at the Emirates, rock bottom, winless in 19, and facing deep unrest from the stands. They have a goal kick here to be taken by Sam Johnson. He will launch this through the middle of the pitch. It goes up towards Strand Larsen, who flicks it on, aimed in towards Hwang, doesn't reach him and comes back the other way. And now Eze is joining the attack as Gyökeres tries to put pressure on Mosquera. It's nutted down once again by Krejci, and then it goes back into Hwang, who tries to release the ball forward into the path of João Gomez, who canters forward at pace down the left-hand side, being tracked by Hincapié, who's followed him from left side to right, and then it goes back to halfway, and Andre, who tries to keep things ticking over. 0-0 the score, and Arsenal have had to shake off the ominous title race history in the last 3 seasons where they have got in front and led after 12 games. They failed to win the title, with Manchester City overtaking them every time. City currently just 2 points behind. They play Crystal Palace away from home tomorrow. Perry Groves will be there for Talksport for that as we take you around the grounds on Game Day Live. Little flick from Hwang, but Strand Larsen wasn't alert to the opportunity, and out comes David Raya and picks it up on the edge of his box. 0-0.
Yeah, I've got to say, Sam, Wolves have started okay, knocking the ball around, but as is the case when you're in the position they're in at the moment, it's normally that play well and then that first goal just punctures any confidence you've got in the ranks and the performance drops away.
Well, that's been their problem, really. They've been in games, but they can't score goals that can get them into a position where they can go on and win matches. And then when they do end up even sort of tussling with an opponent, they'll give away a cheap goal. That looked like a really fierce challenge from Arsenal supporting right fullback Matt Doherty on Gabriel Martinelli. Seemed to collide with the Brazilian. He's gone down clutching his face. Free kick has been given far side.
Well, and he's not getting up anytime soon.
He's holding his nose now, Martinelli, over on the far side, and suggesting that Rob Jones should be alerted to the fact that there was an elbow there. Mikel Arteta is stalking inside the technical area. Rob Jones is out too. And the free kick is going to be given over on the far side. Martinelli rather gingerly getting back to his feet, still moaning at the referee for not giving more than just a free kick over on the far side. So at the back edge of the penalty area again, Gyökeres, Nketiah, Saliba and Timber start to line up to run across that high Wolves line, which is now on the edge of the 18-yard line. Goes from Rice back to White and then back into Rice, then back to Zubamendi, dead centre of the Wolverhampton Wanderers half. They go down the right now to Saliba. Saliba, edge of the penalty area, tucks it back to Saka. Saka into the inside right position for Nketiah to get a low cross in towards the near post. It beats the first defender but not the second. And then, I think it went out for a corner kick on this near touchline, despite the protest of Yesen Mosquera, who's still moaning at the assistant, suggesting it didn't go out of play. I think it did.
Yeah, clever play there by Arsenal on the right-hand side. A slid ball just down the edge of the box, and the Wolves' back line were literally a jagged line, and that played onside.
That was so deep, Stuart, that I think Toti Gomez was a yard behind the byline. Here is the corner on this near touchline to be taken by Saka, who's placed it down and kicked away an energy drink. He then plays it short to Eze. He's got loads of space on the edge of the area, wasn't closed down. And then Zubamendi slides it down the right side. It's sent away by Krejci, and it comes back out towards this near touchline, and Eze will pick it up once again. Zubamendi manages to hold on to it. Arsenal have declined a couple of times now to put set pieces into the box, and I wonder if that's because of the height that Wolverhampton Wanderers have got with Krejci and Strand Larsen, very tall individuals. Walther on the left-hand side, the fullback is over 6 foot as well. Here's Saka trying to take him on, gets room for the cross, clips it into the penalty area, and Timber sends it over the top of the crossbar with a header, which was about 7 yards from goal. He rose brilliantly, and it went over the top of the crossbar. It's 0-0.
Well, to reply to your statement about not putting the ball in the box, if you're unmarked and your movement's good, I mean, Timber's headed that between two of the central defenders who made no attempt at all to head the ball, and if you're going to get freed up space, you're going to put the ball in the box.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the problems that they had on Monday night. I don't know if you saw it, Stuart. You looked at the defending from Wolverhampton Wanderers and it was scandalous, really. Yeah. So many spaces, so lacklustre in their attempts to put pressure on the ball that Manchester United, even at one stage, Bruno Fernandes had the opportunity to slip over, fall down, do a bit of breakdancing and still have time to get back up and put the ball in the back of the net.
Well, the catalogue of errors in that goal was quite incredible, really.
Here, it's still 0-0, but all the football's been played in the Wolves half. They can't get out at the moment, and Arsenal smothering them with the possession and with pressure, and the ball is out of play over on the far side, the Arsenal left. About 20 yards inside Wolverhampton Wanderers territory on what is a cool night in North London, but quite a pleasant one. Ben White starts to travel forward down on the right side. He pokes the ball into the path of Saka. Saka now trying to take on Wolfer. Wolfer goes towards him. He's a little bit of jiggery pokery to try and hold him up, but Saka does well to hold him off and turn and then uses his strength to get away from him. In the end, Wolfer resorts to grabbing him round the body and trying to pull him down and gives away a free kick wide on the right-hand side.
Last time we were here, I think I was bemoaning the wing-backs not getting touch tight on Madueke, and similar type of thing. Wolfer's allowed Saka to get the ball to feet. Once he's got the ball to feet, you've got a problem. He does his work, stays with his man. Saka turns away from goal, and at that stage he decides to wrestle him and give a foul away, which is crazy.
Free kick, which Declan Rice will take. This will be an outswinger, this one. Might be a little bit better for him to try and curl it away from the goalkeeper here. There's 4 to attack it inside the box of the back post, maybe that 5. They run laterally, and then it goes towards the near post, picked on by Saliba, drops inside the area, but it's a blue shirt that gets there first, and it's cleared towards halfway line by Wolves. And then one by João Gomez off Ben White and Declan Rice, and he charges forward. He's got Strand Larsen going through the middle of the pitch, but he holds on to the ball rather than releasing the big, tall Norwegian striker. And it goes all the way back into the centre circle, and it's with Andre and then Toti Gomez, who comes up towards halfway, sends it out to Wolfer on the near touchline. He trundles down the touchline, feeds it into Hwang Hee-chan. There's a challenge off the ball, which the referee hasn't seen, and they want to stop the game, but he's getting back to his feet. You don't just stop the game because someone goes down. Toti Gomez just sort of stood on the ball there where he could have been playing on. Eventually the referee said just get on with it, and they do that now. Wolverhampton Wanderers.
He's claiming Ben White sort of blocked his run and elbowed him, was the suggestion.
Arsenal 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 on Talksport with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Sunderland versus Newcastle live tomorrow. Search Now Sports. That'll be a big game tomorrow. Did you ever play in a North East derby?
No, I didn't. No, Sunderland, I don't think we're in the division,
no,
actually.
I suppose they weren't, were they? Because you were there 97, 98, weren't you,
yes,
sometime?
Yeah.
They came up I think they came up 99, 2000.
Yeah, would have been some game to play in.
Kevin Phillips scored the winner when they first came up, didn't they, at St James's Park. We had him on the programme yesterday between 10 and 1 on Friday, and he was talking about the way that Sunderland had recruited this season, and certainly it will be a real proper match tomorrow. We'll cover that on Game Day Live for you tomorrow from 1:30. 61% possession for Arsenal so far. It's been pretty easy for them, Stuart. They haven't had to do too much, but they haven't really crafted any chances.
No, I tell you what Arsenal do well, though. They come out in games like this where the opposition sit back against them and respect them, but they don't take their foot off the tempo of the way they play. I like that about the way they play the games and take the game to the opposition.
Sir Peregrine of Groves came up to us a little bit earlier on and suggested that they might need an early goal to keep everybody engaged here today. Well, they haven't got that so far, and we still got the noise of the Ashburton army behind the goal away to our right. So far so good for Arsenal, who come down the left now with Martinelli. He's about midway between the centre circle and the edge of the penalty area when he turns back and goes and finds Saliba, who's a welcome returnee today to the starting lineup for Mikel Arteta. Timber forward, onto Saka. Saka now attempting to take on Wolfer. He goes inside and then plays it back to Timber. And then they go all the way back to Zubimendi, who switches the angle of the attack out to the Arsenal left. In Capier. Into William Saliba, who's missed the last 4 matches before today with an ankle problem. Back out to Saka again as they attempt to go down the right once more. Toti Gomez is in front of Saka this time. He's got Wolfer close to him as well. Ben White's made a really good lung. He's put it between both of them. It's sent into the penalty area and it's cleared away. And it was too simple actually for Saka to squeeze that between the two defenders and find Ben White, who just wandered into space behind them. He just flicked it between. There was so much of a gap between the two of them. It was easy for him to piece the ball into White.
That area they're exploiting really well.
Gyökeres on the turn, trying to get past the defender. Good challenge that. Very, very good challenge by Agbadou, who nudges it out towards the near side, and the Wolves are able to clear.
Yeah, that area are exploiting brilliantly, to be fair. Ben White, Saka just inside the box and just threading balls through. A couple of times it's happened now.
Eze onto White again. He sends the ball into the box. It cannons off Wolfer, and then Eze slightly carelessly raises his foot to try and bring the ball down and kicks João Gomez in the face. He immediately apologises. The referee blows the whistle and gives a foul. There'll be no more than that. But it was a rather reckless thing to do. He's probably lucky he doesn't get a yellow card here.
Yeah, I mean, this is a really interesting one, because if you took that incident by itself and stilled where his foot was, he'd give him 6 of the best straight in the face.
Yep.
Not meaning to do it.
No.
We know it was a total accident, but does that matter in modern day football?
I think the context of it, we saw it in full speed, and I don't think he's taken his eye off. I mean, he's obviously hurt him and caught him, but I don't think he's done serious damage to him. So I don't think it's anything more than a yellow card. But you're right, if you just froze the picture at the moment, that all of his studs were right in Andre Gomez's face, that looks a lot worse.
Yeah, because I've seen sendings off this season, if nothing else, where players, you can see clearly they've probably slipped and their foot's come up a little bit, and you think you've not meant to do that, but there's been no consideration at all about a player not meaning to do it. He's just got a red on occasion.
Celtic don't play this weekend because they are in League Cup action tomorrow against St Mirren, so Hearts have the opportunity to make a 6-point gap between them and second place Celtic, especially after winning against Celtic last weekend. And Derek McInnes' side have taken the lead against Falkirk in the late kick-off in Scotland tonight. It's Hearts 1, Falkirk 0. Andre Gomez still getting a little bit of attention from the medical staff here. Wolves have failed to score in 9 of their last 15 Premier League games this season. They went 5 successive matches without a goal before Jean-Rickner Bellegarde scored in Monday's 4-1 defeat at home to Manchester United. And sadly for Wolverhampton Wanderers, he's not in the team today. So it'll be interesting to see where the goals are coming from, because right now I don't think they've been anywhere near the edge of the 18-yard box away to our left-hand side.
No, they've had a couple of good chances to break, actually, but they've not had the pace to get away from Arsenal's backline when they've received it. And Gomez has probably been the one on probably 2 or 3 occasions that led the charge on that.
Well, we're just about to get one underway again after Gomez has had his treatment. It's a free kick on the edge of the 18-yard box away to our right. And it's launched high and long down the pitch by Sam Johnston, trying to gain a bit of yardage and take a bit of pressure off the Wolves, but immediately it comes back by Declan Rice. It goes out of play actually over on the far side, and it will be a throw-in 20 yards inside the Wolverhampton Wanderers half over on the far right.
It's quite incredible how we've tied ourselves up. The referee's just told Gomez, who's been kicked in the face by Eza, that he can't come on yet, and he's making him wait at the side of the pitch. It's quite pathetic, really, isn't it?
Well, the rule came in because too many players were going down, time wasting and asking for treatment when they didn't need it. So the rule for the 30 seconds on the sideline was a deterrent to try and stop that from happening. But it does have consequences, doesn't it? You know, in unintended consequences. And this is one of those. He's back on the pitch now as Arsenal come forward with Zubamendi over the halfway line. His chest pumped out and his hair flowing behind him. On the mild night here, or cool night, let's say that, in North London. Saka gets hold of it now, short sleeve shirt on for him, and he runs up towards Bulfer, beats him, gets the cross in towards Declan Rice with a header, but he couldn't get any venom in it, and he just managed to get up above his marker, but couldn't get enough of his neck muscles to stretch behind it to enhance the power, and it goes straight into the arms of Sam Johnson, just standing at the foot of the post.
Yeah, Wolfer's just on his body position there when he engages Saka. He's engaged him to cut off his left foot and say you're not going inside. But if you show him too much of the line, he'll drag it and cross it, which he demonstrated just then.
That's the good thing about him, though, isn't it, Saka? He can go both ways.
Indeed.
There's another problem here, and another collision. And this time it's Urian Timber going through the back of Hwang Hee-chan. And Hwang eventually getting back to his feet, but only very slowly.
Well, I think we've seen two challenges that probably could have, on another day and another team, bring yellow cards, I think, Sam.
Absolutely. But we haven't seen any from Rob Jones so far. Maybe he's saving all of his cards for Christmas. Done your Christmas cards? You send Christmas cards. You're the kind of person that definitely does that.
I definitely do that. Yes, I have.
I thought you might be. Here is Andre with a free kick towards the back post. It's headed back across the face of goal, then helped away by Eze. I just thought maybe most people don't do that anymore, do they? Just send a text or something.
Yeah, well, you know, my penchant for writing rather than texting. And
yes.
See, part of you said, yeah, you're the sort to send a card, and the other part of you said, no, you're too tight to buy them. Yeah. That's what is your thought process.
Yes, there was a conflict going on. Here is Saka playing it down the right into White. White tries to get beyond the last defender. Gomez comes across. I think the offside flag would have gone up against Ben White anyway. In fact, now it does. And the free kick is given to Wolverhampton Wanderers on this near side. But it was a decent run by Ben White. He just didn't get the timing of it right.
That's happened too many times. It's Arsenal's favoured side, this right-hand side, without a doubt. and he's just getting in there. And going back to the conversation about Eza playing on the left-hand side, Arsenal, I think, favour the right-hand side that little bit more, so it seems.
So when he wasn't getting a lot of the ball the other week when we were at Aston Villa, one of the reasons is because they just seem to drive down that right-hand side so often.
Yeah, indeed, that certainly is the case. And they've got in probably on 2 or 3 occasions now, too many for Wolverhampton's liking.
Well, just 9.1% of the action so far has been in Arsenal's defensive third over the last 15 minutes. And that sort of tells you the tale of the tape. But it is still goalless, and while it's still goalless, anything can, but might not happen. Here is Toti Gomez on the halfway line for Wolverhampton Wanderers. Agbadou has it now. He sends it into the path of Krejci. He turns it round the corner for Strand Larsen, who's being engaged by Urian Timber. Ball won back by Krejci once again, and he immediately flicks it forward, but Nkapie will head that clear. Martinelli tries to win it. 2 Wolves players go up for the ball. It spills to the left. Nkapie comes forward, and then it goes out of play and away for an Arsenal throw on the halfway line after a collision between Nkapie and Yerson Mosquera over on the far touchline. 0-0. Here is Saliba returning to action in Arsenal colours for the first time since the beginning of November. Zubimendi, Saliba, and then back into the path of Nkapie. And it's good to have Saliba back, bearing in mind we talked about the number of fixtures that are coming up, but more importantly, they've got a week off now, so he can exert himself, then get the rest and recovery that he needs to be able to go again when we bring you the game against Everton next Saturday night at 8 o'clock. A double header of Premier League action next Saturday. Newcastle-Chelsea at 12:30, and then Everton against Arsenal is the late game. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. Looking forward to that. It should be an absolute cracker. The Hill Dickinson Stadium, which is an absolute terrific venue, by the way. Everton didn't have a great result today away at Chelsea. They lost 2-0, although Chelsea gave up a couple of chances towards the end of the first half, but 2 sucker punches did for David Moyes' team. Liverpool 2-0 winners earlier, and Fulham winners away from home at Burnley in a ding-dong of a game which involved 5 goals, and as a result of that, Liverpool moved up into 6th position, joint with Crystal Palace on 26 points.
It'd be interesting, as I say, it looked, a couple of weeks ago, Arsenal absolutely flying. All of a sudden, if they do drop points in this game, if they do, big ask, all of a sudden the teams below them are just tightening the net slightly, aren't they, you know?
Well, anybody below the sort of the top 2 or 3 is very, very close together now, you know. I think it's only 6 points separating pretty much those in 4th all the way down to 13th.
So, well, incredibly, looking at the table as it stands at the moment, if Arsenal were to lose today, City win, all of a sudden, City go top, I believe.
Yes, tomorrow, if they beat Crystal Palace, although that's not a foregone conclusion anyway.
No, they are a team playing well.
They are. Here is Raya. Not much is happening, to be honest, folks. No real goal-mouth action to speak of as of yet, but Gyökeres is coming forward now. A long ball into the inside right channel. Out comes Sam Johnson. He gathers the ball in front of the Swede and then bowls it out into Andre. Now Krejci, the Czech international and former Sparta Prague player who won titles in the Czech Republic. He turns the ball out towards the near touchline. It's played against the chest of Ben White and goes out of play off Wolfer, the left back, attacking full-back, who probably is going to have to do a bit more defending today rather than going forward, the Norwegian. A couple of Norwegians in the starting lineup for Wolverhampton Wanderers, and their national team captain, Ødegaard, is sitting on the bench tonight. Has been rested or rotated out in favour of Eze, who's playing in the 10. Another collision over on the far side, a high foot which goes against Martinelli. And it's been a bit stop-start after the first quarter of the game has come to its conclusion.
Yeah, there's Arsenal have set a tempo early on, but to be fair, Wolves have stayed in the game. Every time they've been breached, they managed to get a block with anything flashing across the face of goal, and they're trying to sort of just play their way into the game at the moment. They lack a bit of pace, don't they, in the team, especially at the front end of the team, Wolverhampton. So when they have turned it over and broke, they can't get away from an Arsenal defender.
Yeah, I mean, Hwang is not a slouch, but, you know, him up against Saliba or Timber, there's only going to be one winner 90% of the time. I mean, just to sort of reiterate the fact that the game's been stop-start. In the first 22 minutes of the game, the ball was in play for 10 minutes.
That is an incredible stat, isn't it?
Here is Saliba, just left of the centre circle. A square ball into the stocky Uriam Timber. And the well-tanned Ben White sends it into the inside right channel, looking for Saka, but it's overhit and goes straight out of play. And that sums up the game that we've had so far today. Arsenal have lost just one of their last 20 matches in all competitions. Their 18-match unbeaten run ended by Aston Villa last Saturday in what was a brilliant game. They responded in midweek with a 3-0 win away to Club Brugge and another solid performance. And Wolves boss Rob Edwards was predicting that there might be pain to come tonight before things improve. It can't get much worse for his team. They can't win, they can't score, and they can't keep clean sheets. But he does think he's got the personnel around him now to rebuild over time. But he might still have a bit of a miserable experience to encounter over the next few months and weeks, with relegation looking an almost certain prospect now. 0-0 the score. This is Talksport. Martinelli chasing back towards his own goal, feeds it to David Raya, who plays it out towards the left and then gives it back to Martinelli in the left full-back position. That's a poor ball out from them, and they've given it straight to Andre, but it's won or blocked by Nkapie, who knocks it out for a throw-in over on the far side. Talksport 0-0.
Yeah, as I say, decent probe there by Wolverhampton down the right-hand side, but just run aground, and then Arsenal turned it over, give it away very sloppily, but at this moment in time, I think Wolves will be the happier of the two sides, that is for sure, in the way the game's, well, was going.
They've just passed the ball straight to Ben White, and now Arsenal are coming down the right-hand side. It's picked up by Bukayo Saka, trying to take on Gomez, goes on the outside of him, runs into the penalty area unchallenged, in towards the near post, blocked by Andre, and then shepherded out towards the near touchline. But the way that Bukayo Saka just put on the afterburners and just sped past Toti Gomez as if he wasn't really there was a bit of a worry, I think, for Rob Edwards and his team.
Well, if you get your defensive angle of engagement that far wrong, it's ridiculous. You should be able to draw a line between ball and player and your goal, and you should be somewhere in the middle of that. If you've done that with that last engagement, you could draw a straight line straight to the goal, and the defender wouldn't be in the way of the ball at all.
Very scary for Wolverhampton Wanderers. The good news for them, they haven't conceded a shot on target yet. Declan Rice with the long throw, powers it in towards Nkapie, headed away by Krejci, back over the top by Zubamendi, headed away, and the furthest player forward is Hwang, and he is racing clear over the halfway line. He's being pursued by Timber. He's still going into the penalty area. It's Hwang to get a shot away, and it's saved by David Raya, and the first shot on target of this encounter at the Emirates Stadium between top and bottom comes from Wolverhampton Wanderers, and a breakaway from Hwang Hee-chan.
Well, Arsenal squeezed everyone into probably the last 35 metres of the Wolverhampton half, and when the ball broke, it was Hwang. It was 5 yards clear, wasn't it? But he was chased down like a pack of wild dogs in Arsenal shirts, to be quite honest with you. And the goal couldn't come quick enough for him, and I just think he ran out of legs by the time he hit his finish. Yeah,
he got the shot away. It was on target, but it wasn't too difficult for David Raya to stop. He went down to his right, made a routine save, and Arsenal had a bit of a let-off there. 0-0 the score. Here is Nkapie, forward to Martinelli, back out wide towards the left and Rice. Rice goes infield, and it's taken on by Martinelli now. He looks up, finds Zubamendi. Not sure there's enough movement on the edge of the penalty area. Difficult for Gyökeres because he's got three central defenders constantly around him. Saka goes down the outside, looking to take on Wolfer. Gets to the edge of the penalty area, comes back, pokes it into Eze, looks for the return. Can't get the return, but when they defend it, Wolves, they give it back to Eze, who finds Zubamendi. Zubamendi to Eze once again, who's just popped up 10 yards further back now. Now down the right he goes to Urian Timber, who clips the ball into the area. Johnston comes to try and get it, manages to do so. And he secures the ball, pulls it into his chest and will clear it away.
I think playing, I'm just looking at Strand Larsen, playing in this team, you look at him and you think delivering balls into the box is exactly what he needs, but he's getting absolutely sort of nowhere near getting any form of service whatsoever, so he'll cut a very frustrating season, I would suspect.
Gyökeres trying to run in behind down the left-hand side. He was pushed by Mosquera. He continues his run into the box. He bends the ball in towards the near post. It's too close to the goalkeeper and it's collected. Now Mosquera's saying he's got a head injury, has gone down. He actually went to try and foul Gyökeres, who handed him off, and in doing so maybe just caught him, But they are going to make a big change here. Ben White's got a problem, and Miles Lewis-Skelly is going to come on in the first few minutes of the game, and that will mean a rejig for Mikel Arteta, because Lewis-Skelly will have to go to left back, and Cappier will go into the centre of defence, and Timber, I think, will go to right full-back.
Yeah, as I say, that's not helpful to Arsenal. White was getting forward and combining quite well with Saka, certainly in these first 28 minutes or so, but Timber, I'm sure, will offer the same sort of support.
Lewis-Skelly started in midweek, and he's going to get the chance to come on here now. They're just having a bit of a conference on the near touchline, and occasionally we get these, don't we, these sort of tactical conferences. This is a genuine injury for Ben White, because he is going to be replaced here, but it does give Mikel Arteta just an opportunity to pass on some information with 15 minutes to go before half-time, to try and get Arsenal to create something, because so far they haven't done so.
No, they haven't, and probably their best options have been down this right-hand side by an absolute country mile, to be fair. They've got in down here a fair bit, and they're, certainly today, they're very right-centric, Arsenal, aren't they?
Absolutely. Well, a lot has been labelled at them, and they haven't scored a set-piece goal for a while in the Premier League. Their last 11 goals have come from open play. Maybe, just maybe, they might have to rely on a set-piece today. Off goes Ben White, on comes Miles Lewis-Skelly. That's the signal for the rejig. It's currently 0-0 between Arsenal and Wolves at the Emirates. And for the latest odds, you can head to Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage, where right now you can get Arsenal to win at 5-1 on. Wolves are 14-1. The draw is 4-1. That's all thanks to Betfair, playing a different league this season with safe sub from Betfair 18+. Gambleaware.org. This is TalkSport.
Sam, I'm all for the safety of players, OK, but we've had a break now that has lasted 2 minutes.
Yeah,
and
too
you're
long.
suggesting 10 minutes of play over 22 minutes. Somewhere down the line, and I'm going to be called a visionary here, we're going to take a leaf out of Rugby League's book, and they're just going to send the physios on while the play goes on if it's not in the penalty box.
28 minutes played. We played 31 now, but on 28 minutes, the ball was in play for 13 of those minutes.
Well, listen.
Who does that benefit? It benefits Wolves, doesn't it?
Well, it doesn't benefit anyone, to be fair. Technically, it does in a footballing aspect,
It
yes.
doesn't benefit us, that's for sure. Or anybody
Or the
listening.
fans,
or
or
any of
anybody
these
else.
supporters watching.
And there's not been a meaningful injury in the game.
No. Mosquera, by the way, back up after being treated on the pitch when really he could have been treated elsewhere. Here's Strand Larsen trying to get the knockdown from Hwang, miskicks it, and it's picked up by Miles Lewis-Skelly, whose first involvement in the game is a vertical pass straight up to Martinelli, and he scampers away towards the edge of the area. He feeds it to Rice, who's on the overlap. He manages to cross into the box, it hits the defender and goes behind, and it's out for a corner. But it was just an injection of pace there, borne about by the fact that, well, while they're on the attack briefly, Wolverhampton Wanderers, the ball was turned over, and Miles Lewis-Skelly immediately releases the ball forward directly to get them on the attack.
Yeah, he took 3 or 4 players out the game with the pass that he played into midfield, but Martinelli's pass to Rice just sent him too far wide, and he lost valuable time in crossing it.
He does have the chance to bring a set piece into play here, though, as he sends the ball back towards the left edge of the area, and then it goes to Saka, who's going to shoot, but he took too long to do so, and by the time that he released the ball, Strand Larsen had got out to block. David Raya's come into the opponent's half to send the ball down the right side into the path of Nkapie. The cross goes into the box, it's headed behind, and it goes out for a corner kick. I mean, David Raya was so frustrated that Arsenal weren't getting the ball into the box that he came 5 yards into Wolves' territory in order to play it. And his starting position now, by the way, is in the centre circle. He hasn't seen Fatawu's go, has he, by the way, for Leicester today, because, you know, these boys can hit it from 70 yards now.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it shows how comfortable Arsenal feel that as though they are in a game.
Rice delivers the ball towards the far post, and the header by Martinelli goes straight along the goal line and out of play and out for a goal kick. Well, it was a tight angle for him, and he was trying to head it back across the face of goal. Almost maybe caught in two minds, really, but he was completely free at the far post. He heads that on target. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Arsenal run everyone out the situation, and I think Zubimendi might have been pulled up for fouling on the far post there. Not sure which Wolves defender it was. And where I think Wolves are going to be short of getting a result here, they've not got anyone at the front end of the team that is quick enough to get away. If they had a speed merchant up there, they would probably, on the run of play, Sam, have a threat in this game.
Well, crikey. Again, Sam Johnson takes an absolute age over a goal kick, and the referee was being heckled by the crowd here, trying to alert him to the fact that Johnston was respotting the ball, then taking a run up, then attempting to get it all spotted again before he decided to kick it long and up the pitch. Here is Saliba wrestling with Krejci as the ball goes into the Arsenal half of the field. Across to Miles Lewis-Skelly, who immediately turns it back to David Raya. Raya out wide to Saliba now, and Saliba back to David Raya. So the back four now is Timber, Saliba, Nkapie and Miles Lewis-Skelly. Arsenal under a little bit of pressure here. They've given the ball away. Rice guilty as the ball goes in from João Gomez. Misfields, and it's taken on by Miles Lewis-Skelly, and they've got lots of numbers in attack here. In fact, they've outnumbered the Wolves defence. It's 6 against 5 in Arsenal's favour. Lewis-Skelly plays it left to Rice. It was a bit behind him, and now that gives Wolves the opportunity to get back and try and plug the gaps. Timber on the near touchline. They probably need to move that a little bit further up the pitch and at a greater pace to really unsettle Wolves. They haven't done that, and they've come back out to the right-hand side, and Saka now plays it to Zubimendi. Now it's back out to Eze. Eze waits, hesitates, threatens a trick. He goes inside and gives it to Saliba. Still 0-0. You're listening to Talksport. And so far in the game, Arsenal still awaiting a first shot on target after 35 minutes against the bottom team, the team that can't keep a clean sheet. It's been a bit too sedate from Arsenal when they've got to the edge of the box. And give Wolves credit, they've got a lot of men behind the ball, and their defending has certainly been better than it has been on recent occasions, but Arsenal will not be satisfied with this. Nkapie into Saliba, back out to Eze. Eze now approaching the penalty area, rolls his studs over the ball, gives it to Saka. Saka comes back infield, slips almost as he tries to get away from Krejci. He goes infield to Zubimendi, then back to Saliba again, infield to Nkapie, and Arsenal just horseshoe the ball around towards the other side of the pitch now. And from the left flank, Martinelli just stoops, runs, then plays the ball into Lewis-Skelly, who tries to turn and help it on to Zubimendi, but he's dispossessed by Andre, and the ball is worked to the far side and João Gomez. 0-0.
Yeah, I think Arsenal need to keep feeding the ball into the box, putting crosses in there, and keep asking questions of the Wolverhampton backline. I think sooner or later someone might switch off if it goes to form.
Just keep moving the ball quickly in and around the edge of the penalty area. I mean, they've made so many mistakes this season. They're bound to make another one, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Surely that's what Arteta will be saying. But from Wolves' point of view, just keep this going. Here's Saka into the penalty, looking to find Gyökeres, comes through at the far post. Martinelli sends it across the face of goal and out of play. Goes out for a corner. Referee saw a flick there, but Arsenal enterprising at last. The ball went down the right-hand side. Saka was in an onside position. He slid the ball very quickly through the 6-yard box, right on its edge. Gyökeres was stretching. He flung himself between two central defenders. He couldn't quite reach it. It came to Martinelli. It was well blocked by Doherty.
Well, that was some pass there. Straight across the face of goal. Wolverhampton backline didn't know whether to stick or twist.
Here is the corner to be taken by Declan Rice. In towards the near post, punched away badly by Johnston. And then Martinelli with the volley sends it wide. It just slipped off the top of the glove, I think, from Johnston, and fell into the path of Martinelli, who tried to jump up and scissor kick the ball goalwards, and it went just wide of the left-hand upright. 0-0.
Yeah, it was a poor clearance. I think Gyökeres was looking to overhead kick it, and it fell to Martinelli eventually. The hitch kick just sliced off the right foot.
Gabriel Martinelli, who became the first Arsenal player to score in 5 consecutive Champions League games in midweek. He's actually had quite a good impact in the goal-scoring front this season, Martinelli. He's already picked up 6 goals this campaign, and he could have had one here. He's had 2 good opportunities. Ball flown out towards the right-hand side, looking for Saka, who just shrugs off Toti Gomez and then tried to keep it in, couldn't do so. And the referee, helped out by his assistant, gives a throw-in on this near touchline. You're listening to Arsenal against Wolves live on Talksport. It's 0-0 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever it is, they're here for it. A big day tomorrow on Talksport. We will have Henry and Sean tomorrow from 9 o'clock, bringing you a review of all the weekend's action. Game Day Live takes you around the ground with all the goals as they go in from the Premier League, the Scottish League Cup final, the WSL. Monday night football, we've got Manchester United against Bournemouth. Tuesday night, it's Cardiff against Chelsea. Wednesday night, Manchester City against Brentford and Newcastle Fulham on Talksport and Talksport 2. Thursday night, Crystal Palace against Coops in the Conference League. Friday night, Swansea Wrexham. And then that double dip of Premier League action next Saturday, live on Talksport. All part of the festive 50.
You're looking at the options that Arsenal have, off the bench, Madueke and the like, that can come on and influence the game, and you always feel as though that could be the key to this game eventually.
There's enough talent out there, though, to have tested the goalkeeper maybe a little bit more than they have so far. I think it's a big night for Victor Gyökeres, who hasn't scored since returning from injury. Here is Rice into the penalty area, looking to be helped on by Nkapio, flicks it over his head, away by Wolfer. It's connected by Zubamendi, who's just in front of the centre circle. Out wide to Rice. Rice back in field to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Miles Lewis-Skelly just attempts to go forward, then checks, comes back in field. Zubamendi back out wide towards Rice. Rice now approaching the edge of the penalty area. He goes left instead and finds Zubamendi once more. He sends it out towards the right-hand side, and Saka trying to feed the ball back into a central area. He goes back to Zubamendi instead because it's too congested. It's a bank of 5 and then 3 and then 2 trying to defend. He lifts it over the top, Zubamendi, hoping for a run in behind by Saka, but it's too close to the centre of the penalty area. It'll float out of play and go out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. 0-0, 5 minutes before half-time. I don't think Mikel Arteta will be too satisfied with what he's seen so far, Stuart.
No, they've not created too many clear-cut chances, it's fair to say. They've had the ascendancy on the ball, but Wolves have come into the game. They've done pretty well the last 5 or 10 minutes, and the threat in behind has not been there. Now, whether that's something to do with the fact that White's come off, or they've just worked out the engagement angles of Saka, maybe.
Ball's in the air. Strand Larsen nods it down into the path of Krejci. It goes centrally for Zubamendi to win it away from Hwang, and then good turn by Eze. Back out to Jurrien Timber. Gyökeres makes a dart down the right-hand side. Agbadou's there for company. He gets into the wing position, Gyökeres. He can't get away from Agbadou, who does brilliantly to hold him off and see the ball out for a goal kick away to our right-hand side. If Arsenal win a 5th straight home game, they will go 5 points clear at the top of the table before Aston Villa and Manchester City play tomorrow. We'll keep you updated on their games on Game Day Live. But drop points again, and all of a sudden, the little mini wobble that Arsenal have had in the title race becomes a lot more than just a wobble. You invite pressure from all around.
What's a touch more than a wobble, Sam?
I would say it was a crisis if they drop points today.
Crisis?
Yeah, a crisis of confidence.
I thought full gyration maybe more than a wobble,
I think listen, they've dropped a few points recently, but if they drop points to Wolves, no disrespect intended, that is a real problem, because you've started to drop big points, big times when the pressure is on, and you've invited Manchester City. They could have gone at one stage 7 points clear of the chasing pack if they'd beaten Chelsea, who had 10 men a couple of Sundays ago. They didn't, and now they could find themselves, if they don't win today, not being top of the pile. Here on the right-hand side, the ball is picked up by Timber. He sends it into the box. It's looping over the top of the goalkeeper off the deflection from Tony Gomez, and it's caught by Johnston. So I think they'll win the game, but I think they need to show a little bit more, especially in a creative sense.
Yeah, they will. That is for sure. And they just keep needing to get in behind Wolves if they can, and feeding across the face of the goal. I think it's sooner rather than later a chance of fall. And Wolves just short of that bit of pace up front. Once again, Strand Larsen there, and the defenders don't feel under threat because he's got no pace to go away from them.
Here comes Eze, cross into the box looking for Gyökeres. Good header away by Agbadou. Saliba onto Lewis-Skelly. So tightly compact on the edge of that penalty area. Got to find a way through. Martinelli with a good ball into the box. Agbadou is there again with a header. And the first signing of the Victor Pereira era heads the ball out for a throw-in over on the far side. And we've got 2 minutes before half-time. Will there be a breakthrough before we get to the break? The ball picked up by Lewis Skelly on Martinelli, tries to ride the defender. It takes a little flick off Matt Doherty, former Tottenham player Matt Doherty. Remember, he had to scrub all his social media and apologise to the Tottenham fans when he signed that contract at Tottenham Hotspur, because he was such an ardent Arsenal fan as a kid that all his social media was covered with Arsenal material. He nods that he's trying to get the ball away from Martinelli. He's done that successfully, and now it's picked up by João Gomez, but Hwang, as fast as he is not going to reach that. It goes all the way through to David Raya, away to our left-hand side. The Arsenal fans getting a little bit frustrated now. They want the ball sent forward a little bit quicker, a little bit sharper. Eze has it, drops, turns, runs, plays it towards the left. Declan Rice takes over. Left half position, far side. Infield it goes, and now it's with Nkapie. On to Zubimendi, tight to the touchline on this near side is Bukayo Saka. Wolfer goes towards him, he goes inside, drifts away from Wolfer, then tries to take on Krejci, plays it back to Zubimendi, who's got a chance to get it into the box. Instead he gives it to Saka. Saka runs into a bit of traffic, but flicks the ball round the corner, and Timber trying to get there before Andre comes across and scoops it out for a throw-in.
Yeah, I think I've got to say Wolverhampton on their left-hand side, their defence has got better as the half's gone on, haven't they? They've defended Saka much better. They've stayed with runners that have gone in behind in the main.
Yes, and Arsenal haven't been quite at top speed. They've lacked the rhythm that they've shown in recent weeks, and you just wonder whether or not that they might have to freshen it up in the second half. They've already made one change, so I wouldn't be surprised if they make half-time alterations, because it just limits the windows that you can use if you don't. Rice into the box, away by Agbadou, and it goes down a play and away for a throw-in. And the ball boy very quick to sort of get the ball to Zubimendi. There's going to be 4 minutes of added time at the end of the first half.
Well, I think they've cut that down to a minimum if it's 4 minutes, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought we might be here for another 10, to be fair, after all the stoppages that we had in the 45 minutes that we've had so far. But we don't know that for sure because the board is not working. So the fourth official has had to go and change the board and get a new one. Paul Tierney. 4 minutes of added time have been confirmed as Martinelli picks it up far side. That's a foul by Doherty, and that's going to be a free kick over on the far touchline. And again, the referee being very kind here by not issuing a yellow card.
Yeah, he certainly has. He's Christmas overload, I think. Decided to keep his cards in his pocket.
Talking of which, the highlight of the day so far has been that Christmas dinner we had, hasn't it?
Oh, my goodness. Well done, Arsenal. That's all I can say. A magnificent Christmas dinner. My second of the festive season.
Is it?
It certainly is. Another one coming Friday.
They haven't really created anything as far as goal scoring is concerned, but they certainly cooked up a storm-free match.
They've created a bit of indigestion in the fella next to you, I'm telling you.
Here is the free kick. Sent in by Rice, too close to the goalkeeper who decides to punch. Back in by Zubimendi. Crowded penalty area is taken charge of by Doherty. Back over the top it goes. Away by Toti Gomez. Helped into the air by Saliba. Further away by Wolfer. And Wolverhampton Wanderers managed to get it clear after a bit of a melee in the box where there was head tennis going on. Sent upfield towards Strand Larsen. Headed away by Zubimendi. And then it's picked up by João Gomez, and Wolfer sends it into the box as Strand Larsen's got a chance to shoot. It comes back to João Gomez, who sets it back. It's away by Declan Rice before the trigger can be pulled on the edge of the penalty area by the arriving João Gomez, and it's eventually halted once again because of a head collision down in front of us away to our left-hand side. But Wolverhampton Wanderers again creating an entry into the box which spread a bit of panic for Arsenal amongst that back line.
Yeah, really, really good opportunity there. That was. And you thought they just delayed, maybe being a bit overcritical here. Delayed the finish, Strand Larsen. Good block. No, just looking at a replay at the moment. No, probably just couldn't get the angle on the two shooting opportunities.
Well, we're into the third of 4 added minutes at the end of the first half. A sedate first half here. Arsenal not at their very best. Wolverhampton Wanderers so far defending better than they have done in recent games. Remember, they haven't kept a clean sheet for a very long time. Sam Johnson has never kept a clean sheet in Wolverhampton Wanderers colours in 19 matches as their goalkeeper. Here is Declan Rice out to the far side. Martinelli round the corner for Rice is Miles Lewis Skelly. Andre reacts, pummels it out of play. It's away for a throw-in late in the first half.
Yeah, Arsenal got just probably a minute or so now to try and get this breakthrough. Otherwise, we're waiting for fireworks in the second half. And if we can't get them from this game, maybe it'll be those Brussels sprouts we had earlier.
I didn't have any.
It's just me then, eh?
I thought about my colleagues. You clearly didn't. Here's the throw-in over on the far side.
I can clear a stadium bigger than this, my friend. Don't worry.
Here's the throw-in over on the far side. Launched in by Rice. Helped away by Krejci. I think it hit him rather than he tried to nod it clear. It then drops for Zubamendi, who heads it back up into the air. Away by Krejci again. Zubamendi thrusts it forward. It will land on the edge of the 18-yard box, but Wolfer's clearance only finds Saka. Saka's on the floor. He gets back up. It's a little bit messy. It goes out of play. And Krejci kicks it into the crowd, and that's the end of the first half. A little bit of frustration inside the stadium, because when top meets bottom, there is usually only one outcome, and this isn't it. The team that can't keep a clean sheet are doing a very good job of frustrating the Arsenal attack, who are yet to have a shot on target in the match. Half-time at the Emirates, it's top spot Arsenal 0, bottom Wolverhampton Wanderers 0.
Sam, thank you very much. Stuart Pearce, you're sat a few seats alongside me, which is probably a good thing, given the earlier discussion. But look, Sam mentioned it. No shots on target for Arsenal in that first half. The only shot on target was from Wolves, and actually Hwang and Rob Edwards were walking off, talking about something together. You'd feel that actually of the two managers, it's Rob Edwards who'd be the more pleased with the end of that first half.
Oh, he'd take that all day. Take a 0-0 at half-time all day with very few efforts from Arsenal. And I said to you before, we talked about Wolves, it's small wins. They've got to break their season down now to small wins. A small win, in the context of things, is 0-0 at Arsenal at half-time. They've got to build on that now.
Yeah, they absolutely have to, don't they? Arsenal, it's interesting because they had the majority of the possession. Let me have a look at how much it was, actually. It was 73% possession in this game. But the lack of creativity is concerning, isn't it, with the players that they've got on the pitch?
Yeah, but listen, I think we've got to give a bit of credit to Wolves. I think Wolves, early in the game, were getting breached down this right-hand side. Runners coming off them and slid balls down the side were catching them out. They managed to get blocks in anything that come across the face of goal. Since then, I think Wolfer and his colleagues have done particularly well, actually. I think they've worked out the angles of engagement with Saka and the like, and managed to stop them breaking in down the right-hand side. And Arsenal needs some punch down the left-hand side, to be honest with you, because I haven't seen them hardly come down that side of the pitch.
Yeah, something that you mentioned, actually, pre-match as well, that it's all down that side. I mean, look, it's the first time they haven't had a first-half shot on target this season so far. Viktor Gyökeres, 5 touches in that first half as well. I mean, there's so much hope on him as well to actually turn into that striker that they want. Mikel Arteta previously has really praised him, actually. He says, look, even if he's not getting the goals, it's the work he does around the other players, creating opportunities for them. But that doesn't tell you that story, does it?
No, it doesn't. And as I say, today's game for the two big centre forwards in each team is probably a soulless task. Gyökeres has got no room to operate in, but they've got plenty of the ball up that neck of the woods, and he's in the box a lot. Strand Larsen is so far away from goal, he's got to do 80 metres of galloping to get anywhere near an opportunity.
Yeah. Do you think Arsenal, I mean, we're talking about the way that Arsenal are kind of struggling against Wolves. Is it because of this low block that they just cannot work against such a low block which Wolves are putting up today?
Yeah, that's caused a problem, no doubt about that. And sometimes there's a lot of luck comes into football, and you might say it's all skill and whatever, but sometimes you flash the ball across the face of goal and it might just divert in one direction fractionally that falls for somebody to tap in an easy chance. All of a sudden you get 2 or 3 like that, you've got your nose in front, it's a comfortable game. But Wolves have managed to get blocks where it counts, in the face of their goal. They've got headers, and when Arsenal have got clear headers, they've got them wrong, or hitch kicks from Martinelli that they've skewed wide. Yeah,
it is. It's been a really impressive showing, actually, by this Wolves side. Got to ask you about Arsenal's injury list, which is mounting, isn't it? But defensively, particularly, we've seen Saliba back today, but Gabriel's still out. Mikel Arteta named a complete sort of makeshift back four against Bruges in midweek, and Ben White has gone off injured in that first half as well. Is there a concern that it's these mounting injuries, and particularly in that back line, completely sort of derailing Arsenal's campaign, especially over Christmas?
Well, some of the bigger players, I think the big concern for me is if they lost Rice or one of the key players, the creators, more than Ben White at right back. Bear in mind, Ben White wasn't in the team at the start of the season. So, it's part and parcel of the game. You've got to deal with it. There's very few squads in the Premier League and in Europe that have got the depth that Arsenal have.
But considering defence has been their absolutely sort of star point this season, it's been something that's set them apart from in the last few games where they've conceded 6 in the last 5. They've been solid defensively. That's what they've been, that side that have been almost sort of unbreachable, and yet suddenly they are breachable. And even if Ben White is just another figure that comes into that back line, but as a unit, that's not looking as strong at the moment.
No, without a doubt. You lose players in that back line, your strongest back line, it will have the effect. But when you look about Arsenal and what Arsenal were like defensively, take a look at Wanky Chan when he broke away. There was 6 Arsenal players sprinting after him, you know what I mean? That's why they're so good defensively.
Yeah. Okay, you won't believe it, but it is goalless at half-time here at the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. Plenty to ponder then in the second half for Mikel Arteta, and Rob Edwards certainly will take that goalless scoreline at half-time every single day of the week. We are off to a break. Don't forget that actually we've got Martin O'Neill back in the studio on Monday with Jim White and Simon Jordan from 10 a.m. Of course, back from his fresh from his interim stint in charge at Celtic. O'Neill, of course, won 7 of his 8 games at Celtic Park before handing over to Wilfred Nancy, who's having a bit of a struggle, isn't he, in his first couple of games in charge. And Martin O'Neill will be reflecting on Sunday's League Cup final between St Mirren and his old side Celtic. And that is coming up for you on Monday with White and Jordan. Here at the Emirates, though, it is 0-0, and the second half is coming up next.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk.
It's another day at Screwfix, and Mo Farah is learning the ropes.
So, Mo, with Click and Collect, we get orders ready fast. So customers are out of here and back to their jobs in as little as 1 minute. What are you doing?
Deep lunges. It's my warm-up. I need to be in peak condition for when orders come in.
Love that intensity, Mo. Laser focused. You might even have what it takes to beat my PB one day.
Back in the Mo.
Click and Collect in as little as 1 minute. Screwfix. No stopping you.
Oh, he's really opened up the Sun newspaper there, Jim. No question, Clive. Straight in the middle and right into the free pull-out goals. Goals, yes. The ultimate football coverage with the best expert writers. In-depth tactical analysis. Unrivaled coverage from every league and all the latest football action.
Think you've said it all there, Clive.
Sorry, Jim.
Not to worry, I was reading my copy of Goals anyway.
Get your free copy of Goals every Saturday, Sunday and Monday only in the Sun.
Same.
Ho, ho, ho.
Same.
3, 2, 1.
Same.
Oh, thanks.
Same.
What does Santa call his dog?
Same. Same.
One word. Free syllables.
Same. Same.
Sorry, it's a bit dry.
New plates.
Ooh.
Treat your table to something different this Christmas. Visit your local IKEA now. IKEA, the wonderful everyday.
At Betfair, we believe that to play different, you need the right tools. The boots, the world-class tactics, the science-backed nutrition. The pros have their tools, and with Betfair, so do you. Our safer gambling tools work just like the right pair of boots, designed to keep you on top of your game. Open the Betfair app to equip yourself so you can bet at your best. Betfair. Play different.
18+, begambleaware.org.
Don't miss any of the tungsten-tipped top-flight action as the biggest names in darts jockey at the Oki for world domination. The PDC World Darts Championship on Talksport and Talksport 2. With Village Hotels. Get live commentary throughout the entire tournament on Talksport 2. Plus full, unrivaled coverage of the final from Ali Pali on Talksport. The PDC World Darts Championship live on Talksport and Talksport 2. With Village Hotels. Dine out, stay, work out, play.
Hi, just leaving work now. Sorry it's a bit loud. Basically, so I was thinking we could get Mackey's tonight. Had a Big Mac on my mind all day, and delivery fee on the app is now from 99p. So, you in? Of course you are. Ha, love you. Bye.
Exclusively on the McDonald's app. 18+. Service fee and small order fee may apply. Participating restaurants. Serving times and T's and C's apply.
We all fantasize about our perfect home. Sipping a morning coffee out on the terrace. Good morning, Mr. Squirrel.
Morning.
The kids building a tree, playing on the lawn.
We're playing real-life football.
But come on, this isn't real. Listen, if you're serious about making your fantasy a reality, find out what your home is worth instantly with a free online valuation estimate. Get real about moving. Get on the market. Most common time to obtain an online quote between 1st of April 2024 and 30th of June 2024 was under 3 minutes. Excludes Northern Ireland.
Game day exclusive on Talksport with Sky Sports. Stream over 50 live Premier League games this festive season flexibly with Now. Search Now Sports. 18+. Stream via internet. Terms apply.
Ignition Football. Game day exclusive on Talksport.
Hello everybody, you're listening to Game Day Exclusive. I'm Reshmin Chowdhury, live from the Emirates Stadium here on Talksport, where at half-time it is Arsenal 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. And would you believe Arsenal have not had a single shot on target in that first half? It's the first time in this Premier League season that has happened. In fact, the only side to have a shot on target was Wolverhampton Wanderers. Hwang Hee-chan was the one who came the closest. So Arsenal are not at their creative best today, but Rob Edwards and his Wolves side will take that all day long, half-time, and it is still currently goalless. So with that, let's get the latest from Betfair, shall we, the official betting partner of TalkSport's Premier League coverage.
Odds update on TalkSport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Sam Rosbottom, I mean, that wasn't the most entertaining first half, let's say, throughout the course of this Premier League season so far. Is any of that reflected in the odds?
Well, Reshmin, never mind the match. I've just had a message from our traders. They've slashed the odds on over 4.5 Christmas dinners for Stuart Pearce this festive season. They're looking at moving the line to over 5.5.
Wow. Are you putting is Brussels sprouts on the menu?
Well, I was going to say, look, it might feel like completely the wrong radio station for this, but Yorkshire pudding on a Christmas dinner, I'd love to hear Stuart's opinion on that. I mean, I might get called psycho for this, but all day for me, and I'm from Lancashire. Oh,
yeah.
But, Yorkshire pudding on a Christmas dinner.
All day with Christmas dinner. Yeah, we've all had those. We all had that today. Don't you worry. I'm sure he will most certainly concur with that. I'll tell him that
I can't wait to find out how many
dinners are on their way.
He's had at half time. Anyway, listen.
He's been a busy man. He's been a busy man.
Let's go back to the football, shall we?
Shall we? Well, do we want to? Because it's been a difficult game to watch, to be honest. I'd rather talk Christmas dinners, but seeing as we're here, we probably do have to talk about the football.
Yeah, I mean, look, Arsenal were as short as 1-8 before kick-off. The odds have changed ever so slightly, but they're still really fancied, as short as 2-7 now. So those odds have drifted, have come in a little bit, shall we say, come out. Wolves were 20-1, now 14-1. The draw currently 16-5. You mentioned that your lack of creativity. I mean, when you look at the players they've got on the pitch, Bukayo Saka, we were talking up his chances before the game. We've now odds boosted him to score or assist. That's 5-4. Martinelli to score or assist. Odds boosted him to 7-4. Gyökeres to score anytime. Odds boosted him to 6-4. But you look at the bench as well. They've got Odegaard, Trossard, who came on against Villa and scored, didn't he, last week? Madueke, who got the brace in the Champions League midweek. So I can see why Yeah, I can see why Arsenal are still really short and really fancied in this one at 2-7. If you do think that they could get 1, they could get 2, maybe run away with it, you can back Arsenal to win 3-0, 4-0 or 5-0, odds boosted at 9-2. But fingers crossed, those Brussels sprouts don't come through for Stuart Pearce in the second half.
He's got his headphones on now and is looking. What's Stuart eating? Mince pie? Mince pie?
I've had a mince pie, I've had a bit of chocolate cake, I've got a plum in my mouth now.
Did you bring any for me?
Come
And here we go.
Let's go on with commentary.
Yeah, we're going to move on now. Just a few miles away at Alexandra Palace, it's day 3 of the World Darts Championship. Of course, you can find full commentary on Talksport 2 and the Talksport Darts YouTube channel. Mark Wilson is watching for us. Mark, I don't know if you've had any mince pies.
Yeah, good evening. History-making night here at the Alexandra Palace. Paul Lim at the age of 71 has become the oldest ever winner here. He's beaten Geoffrey de Graaf in the opening round by 3 sets to 1. He could play Luke Humphries in round 2. He beat Luke Humphries here 5 years ago. He plays Ted Everts later on tonight. And again, it's on now. Vessel Nyman racing to a 2-0 lead over Karel Sedlicek. He's averaging 105. You can listen to all the action right over on Talksport 2.
Mark Wilson, thank you very much indeed. You also got the latest from Betfair, didn't you? So do remember that was all thanks to Betfair. 18+, gambleaware.org. Let's see if any of the odds can ring true. Sorry, I was losing my words there.
Odds update on Talksport with Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sum from Betfair. 18+, gambleaware.org.
Okay, here we are, back again. Sam, stop laughing.
Because you didn't get a mince pie, isn't it?
Yeah, my head's gone. Right, second half's kicked off. Back to Stuart and Sam.
A ball kick clear from the centre circle as we start the second half. Arsenal in the red and white and hoping for a better performance in the second half. And the turquoise of Wolverhampton Wanderers. No changes at the break for either of the two teams, which is maybe a bit of a surprise. We'll see what happens second 45. Miles Lewis-Skelly tries to put the intent into the game, but runs straight into João Gomez. Turns and comes back to halfway. I'll run through the 2-11s for you in just a second. But so far, it's 0-0. Arsenal won 4 of the last 5 games against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And if they do win tonight, the gap at the top is back to 5 points. But they didn't have a single shot on target in the game in the first half. It was the first time this season and the first time at the Emirates Stadium that's happened since December 2024 against Manchester United. Here is Rice, just left of the centre circle, coming forward and trying to look for a way to pierce this resolute Wolves back line. He goes wide towards the right and finds Eberici Eze. Eze out to Saka and back to Eberici Eze again. David Raya is the Arsenal goalkeeper. The back four now, Lewis-Skelly is playing at left back, Timber at right back, Saliba and Nkapie in the middle. Zubamendi, Rice and Eze in the midfield with Saka, Gyökeres and Martinelli up top. Wolves have Sam Johnson in goal, Doherty, Mosquera, Agbadou, Gomez and Wolfer as the back five. Gomez, Andre and Krejci in the middle of the park, and Strand Larsen and Hwang are the two up top. Now Hwang has just been released through the middle of the pitch once again. The ball I think was so long he wasn't going to get on the end of it anyway, but he was looking to out-power and out-muscle Nkapie. He went to ground claiming a foul. The referee said no foul. Had he had given the foul, he might have been a spot of bother there.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I think that infringement, if it was an infringement, and we'll see again shortly, and obviously the studs to the face earlier on, which were a couple of let-offs, I think.
Here is Saka down the right-hand side. He canters into the box and goes to the byline, produced across the far post. Martinelli tries to get it across the face of goal, comes back to Lewis-Skelly, volleys it into the ground, and it pops up off the chest of the defender and is cleared away. The Arsenal fans who are streaming back into the arena after half-time are just trying to up the atmosphere inside the stadium. It's still 0-0 on Talksport. 2.5 gone at the start of the second half. The ball sent wide towards the Arsenal left, where Martinelli takes it on and comes in from the touchline, being chased by Doherty all over the park. He turns, makes a bit of room, looks up, now wants to feed it forward, but there's not enough movement in front of him, so he has to go via Zubamendi back to Nkapie, and now Saliba has got the ball midway inside their opponent's territory. 0-0 the score. Timber back into Saliba again. Surprised that there weren't any changes at half-time?
Well, I don't think he'll wait too long, to be quite honest with you. Not really surprised, but I think Martinelli...
Saka brilliantly into Timber. Oh, he's fallen over inside the penalty area, Timber. and he's gifted the ball back to the away side. Quickly it's turned over again as Strand Larsen falls over now, and Eze runs towards the edge of the box. The ball in by Saka, looked like it might have hit a hand, was cleared away by Toti Gomez, and then it does hit a hand of Nkapie, and the free kick is given in favour of Wolverhampton Wanderers. 0-0.
I'll tell you what, if Wolves had some pace up front, they might have had their nose in front by now, I think. And that last one with Wang Chi, he should, well, if he was being held back, you've got to brandish a red card there. I think the referee was... Could VAR look at that or not?
Absolutely. If they think it's a potential red card, they could definitely have gone back and looked at it. They obviously checked it and didn't think that there was enough clear evidence that the referee had made an obvious error. Ball cleared up over the halfway line, headed away by Nkapie, headed back towards Eze, and then forward it goes from Doherty, but Gyökeres now trying to outmuscle Mosquera. He was a little bit too handsy with Mosquera, and the free kick's gone against the Swede. And the recent wobble that Arsenal have had, Stuart, has eaten into that lead. I mean, Mikel Arteta's keeping very much his feet on the ground, reminding everybody that expecting to be 10 points clear at this stage of the season is unrealistic.
Yeah, and to be fair, the Arsenal fans moaning about time wasting here. I would point out that Martinelli was down for 2 minutes in the first half, and something very trivial in my mind.
Here is the free kick taken by Johnston. Eventually goes straight into the penalty area. David Raya will leave that to go behind, and it's straight out of play and away for a throw-in. A goal kick away to our right-hand side. So 5 minutes played at the second half. It's been frustrating for Arsenal so far. They haven't really found their rhythm in the match. They certainly haven't been able to create any goal-scoring opportunities in the game. And it's currently 0-0.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the change is going to be Madueke. He's on extremely good form at the moment. Play him on the right-hand side, put him in his favoured position, move Saka to the left-hand side potentially. Pull Martinelli off, I think, would be what I would do at this moment.
We were at Villa Park, weren't we, last week when they went behind first, and they had to bring substitutes on at the break, and Trossard ended up getting them back in the game.
Yep, indeed.
They might need help from a substitute. Again, eventually, of course, that game got away from him in the dying embers of it, but they might need someone to come off the bench and rescue them again tonight.
Yeah, I think we saw clear evidence last week about our teams chased a victory with the subs bench. Both Villa and Arsenal were magnificent at it.
Here is Nkapie. Back to Declan Rice, who's being chased up the pitch. And the longer that Wolves stay in the match, Stuart, the more anxiety will creep into this crowd.
Oh, without a doubt, but there's a nervousness already, you know, that Arsenal haven't had this breakthrough at this moment in time.
Ball over on the far side with Saka. Saka travels infield, gives it to Nkapie. He pokes it down the left. Now it's picked up by Rice, sent on towards the near touch line, and Martinelli trying to bound into the box. He tries to juggle with it, comes off the defender, doesn't go out for a corner though, because it touched the Brazilian last, and it goes out of play and away for a goal kick away to our left. Still Hearts lead by a goal to nil, and they're away at Falkirk tonight in the Scottish Premiership, extending their lead at the top of the table, Hearts. And elsewhere this evening, we mentioned in the first half that Wolverhampton Wanderers had stopped a lot of the Arsenal attacks, and it's not very often that many teams have managed to stop Arsenal from scoring in the first half at the Emirates Stadium in the Premier League this season. Second place Manchester City did it, and now bottom place Wolves have done it. Here is Miles Lewis-Skelly approaching the halfway line. Back in field it goes to Nkapie. Nkapie forward. He gives it to Eberici Eze. Tries to just nudge it in behind. It was stopped by Toti Gomez. Picked up right side by Saka. A deep cross to the far post. Headed away by Doherty, who was just waiting inside the 6-yard box ahead of Martinelli, and it goes behind and away for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. And the crowd get to their feet, trying to roar this team into action.
Yeah, patience is the key for Arsenal. They have to keep knocking on the door, keep trying to create, not panic. not get hurried about what they're doing.
Well, we've played a good proportion of the second half now. It's still 0-0, and that was a poor corner kick from Declan Rice. 8 minutes of the second half played. He's hit it straight at the first man, and it goes out for yet another corner kick. Rob Jones has then seen an infringement inside the penalty area. He wants to delay the taking of the corner kick whilst he walks over and has a word with Saliba and Agbadou. And we wait the taking of the corner once again. Rice to whip this in, right-footed. Will he do a better job this time around? They're backloaded at the far post. He sends it deep towards that far post, punched away, comes out to Saka, who sets it back for Miles Lewis-Skelly, who then tries a little back heel and then gives the ball away and encourages a counter-attack, which João Gomez starts to lead and then runs into a cul-de-sac, forced back by Saka. Good defending by him. Goes all the way back to Johnson, who will launch it up the field of play.
Good punch by Johnson then, I've got to say. He's come through a load of bodies.
Quickly taken short free kick by Zubamendi onto Timber, who's moving the ball at speed out towards Saka. Saka cuts in onto his left foot, looks to try and find an opening, still running towards the edge of the box, overran it, then went down on the edge of the area and wanted a free kick that isn't going to come his way. Zubamendi under pressure from Strand Larsen, and now Saka, being down for so long, has caused the referee to stop the game, so we'll have yet another pause in play.
Yeah, Saka, I think, was looking for a potential foul, and then he just overrun the ball slightly, and this could be a bit of a problem here. I think knee ligaments or something of that nature.
For Toti Gomez,
yeah,
who's
indeed.
down. Is it Toti Gomez?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Who's down inside the D. He's sort of rolling around, looking as if he's under a little bit of strain. Meanwhile, Arsenal are going to roll the dice here. Leandro Trossard, Mikel Merino and Martin Odegaard about to come on.
Well, the answer to the question, was I surprised that he didn't make changes at half-time? The answer was no, but I knew it wouldn't be too long. We're 10 minutes in, and all of a sudden, the cavalry are heading over the hill.
Indeed they are. And Trossard, who came off the bench to score last week at Aston Villa, didn't make the trip to Belgium in his homeland because of an injury that he picked up in that game, but he is okay to be involved today. And those substitutions about to take place. Toti Gomez is back on his feet, seems okay. And we'll still have the full complement. He didn't have to go off the field of play. Here is Martinelli trying to spin in behind and round Doherty. He does brilliantly to get into the box. He drives into the area. He flashes it through the 6-yard box and no one taps it home. And Gyökeres sees it go right across his face and out of the other side of the 6-yard box and out for a goal kick. What an opportunity.
It was really good turn, but poor play by Doherty, and he's chased his man in the box. And to be honest, one of the central defenders has got to come out and start to narrow that angle a little bit better than they did. They're in the lap of the gods at that stage. Martinelli opened his body up and just didn't get enough curl on it.
Zubamendi off, Eza off, Martinelli off, Trossard, Odegaard and Merino are on for Mikel Arteta.
To be replaced by number 19, Leandro Trossard.
Well, what's happening here for Arsenal? Have they got the depth from the bench to change this game and avoid another setback? Another setback at this stage of the season would be something that they could ill afford. It would be a bit of a slide if they were to drop points here. So many times over the course of the last few years, the home fans have had to put up with Arsenal winning matches early in the season, getting an advantage but yet not seeing it home. They will not want to drop more points in the title race tonight. They've been pretty good at dealing with the after effects of Champions League football. They've not lost any of their last 20 Premier League games after playing away in Europe midweek, Arsenal. And although they're not losing here to Wolverhampton Wanderers, they are losing ground. Here is Nkapie inside the centre circle. The substitutes on now. Can they make a difference for Arsenal?
Well, Trossard's certainly shown in the past that he can get goals out of absolutely nothing. And they'll be hoping for that result again tonight.
Zubimendi getting a standing ovation as he comes around this side of the pitch after going off on the other side. Hwang has just run into traffic and then committed a really silly slip. He just a little bit silly with his approach towards the ball there. The referee's not going to produce a yellow card. Declan Rice can't believe it, nor can Mikel Arteta. He just doesn't think there's ever going to be a yellow card in the game.
I think Arteta's actually signalling there was no contact there. I'm giving him the credit. Oh, no, he's not. He's put his foot up there and claiming it was a... No, he isn't. He wants him off.
I don't think he's claiming there was no contact.
Yeah.
He went dancing up the touchline, appealing for more than just a free kick. I don't think that the yellow card's going to come out.
No, I don't think he's caught him. I think he's gone to the ground and slid, and Skelly's seen it coming and jumped over it. I don't think there's any contact there. We'll have a look. Oh, he's had the foot up. I tell you what, he's a lucky boy to stay on the pitch.
I think that might be a red card.
I don't. If someone can kick someone in the face...
I think he's left his foot on the top of...
he'll go for this.
Lewis Skelly's foot. His foot is up. It comes up as he goes into the challenge.
I don't think there's any
he makes contact with Miles Lewis Skelly's foot.
For me, I think I can tell when a player has forcefully put his foot on somebody else. He hasn't done that. I think his foot's up, but he's trying to take any contact away from Lewis Skelly.
Yellow card for the
fair
bench, and no yellow card for Hwang, but the check is complete, and there is no red card.
Well, the thing is, Sam, you can't send someone off for that, and then somebody has put 6 of the best in a player's face earlier in the first half, and you've done nothing, not even a yellow.
I think they are going to give a yellow card to Hwang now.
Yeah, which was fair.
Here is Miles Lewis Skelly over on the far side from the quick free kick, which was sent in by Saka towards the near post, flicked on by Gyökeres to the far post, and it flashes past the outside of the right hand upright, and that's the closest that Arsenal have come.
Yeah, these are all the elements of the game that Arsenal need just to go their direction. A flick on to the far post, it's not enough to get it inside the post or to arrive at Trossard at the far side.
Well, what you can't accuse Mikel Arteta of doing is nothing. He certainly tried to make something happen in the game.
Yeah, without a doubt. And credit to him. I give him great credit at Aston Villa as well. His substitutions were there to win the game, as Villa's were. And he's certainly done the same again this week. But then again, they'll be aware that they need to take really 3 points from this one. It's not the end of the world if they don't, but... certainly the gap closes and the pressure intensifies.
We've hit the hour mark. It's 0-0 between top of the lot, Arsenal Football Club and Wolverhampton Wanderers, bottom of the pile. Here is Nkapie striding through the centre circle. Mikel Arteta was absolutely furious about the fact that that wasn't a red card, by the way. He saw Hwang coming, sliding through, and Miles Lewis Skelly going up into the air, and then when he saw the replay of the studs showing, he thought that that should have been a red card. The VAR decided against it, didn't recommend a review. A yellow card was given instead. Here is Miles Lewis Skelly out towards the near touchline, finding Trossard. Lovely ball into Lewis Skelly again. He tries to square it. It comes back to Marino. He gets half foot on the ball, but not enough to get a shot away. It comes out to the near touchline, and Rice, who's trying to trundle forward, he commits a foul high up inside of the opposition half of the field, and it goes out of play and it's away for a free kick right side of the penalty area. This is Talksport. You're listening to Arsenal 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0 with Sky Sports. And don't forget that with Now you can stream all the Sky Sports action flexibly, like Brentford versus Leeds live tomorrow. Search Now Sports.
Yeah, as I say, every time that ball's flashed in the box at this moment in time, there's been a Wolves player that's got a block on it or just got an interception. And it's just not fell Arsenal's way at present.
Trossard with a challenge, which ends up going in his favour. The ball runs into the path of Nkapie. Arsenal last week came back from a situation, a deficit, to get level, only to concede in the dying embers of the match against Aston Villa. They need something here. Gyökeres going down the middle, squaring the ball into the centre, looking to try and find Marino. There's a proper challenge going in from Nkapie on Strand Larsen, who goes to ground and wins a free kick. And it's all getting rather fraught inside the stadium, because there's still a long way to go. It's 27 minutes to go yet, but they're defending well. They're not giving up many chances, Wolverhampton Wanderers, and Arsenal know the significance of failing to get all 3 points here against the bottom side.
Yeah, they are. Just Arteta telling one of his assistants just to sit down, haranguing the fourth official in regard to wanting play to go on.
Well, Wolves will be bottom at Christmas. 4 teams have been bottom of the Premier League table at that junction and avoided relegation. West Bromwich Albion, Sunderland 2013-14, Leicester and Wolves back in 2022-23. But this looks unlikely. Here is Gyökeres trying to turn away, gets caught from behind by Doherty, and it's going to be a free kick, and Doherty certainly is going to be booked now.
Yeah, absolutely no choice for the referee but to book Doherty for that challenge. But it's in an absolute... I think I've seen Declan Rice score from this sort of area, if I'm not mistaken, last season. 2 wonderful free kicks.
Yeah, was it the other side? Slightly the other side, maybe?
Yes, I think you're right.
Against Real Madrid.
Yeah.
But it's that sort of distance, isn't it?
Yeah, I haven't seen him take a free kick since, I don't think.
It's just right of the D. It's about 20, 24, 25 yards from goal. And it provides an opportunity for Arsenal to try and hit back here. 0-0 is the score. And a goal at this juncture would be very welcome indeed. The yellow card, by the way, to the Wolves bench was to the assistant head coach, Rui Pedro Silva, who got himself booked after mouthing off at the 4th official. Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard are standing over the ball. The Wolves wall is being marshalled at the moment by Rob Jones, the referee. And we're awaiting him just to take a couple of steps back and allow this free kick to be taken. Arsenal 0, Wolverhampton Wanderers 0. We've hit the 65-minute mark, and Arsenal yet to make the breakthrough in the game. Odegaard standing over it, so is Declan Rice. It's going to be Declan Rice to strike it, right-footed round the wall. Oh, it's only narrowly over the top, and Sam Johnson, I think, went up there and got a fingertip on it and just made sure it might not have been going underneath the crossbar. Johnston wasn't sure whether it was or it wasn't, and just made sure that it did.
Yeah, really good whip on the ball and dip. And it was dipping drastically, I've got to say. I think it would have skimmed the top of the crossbar, and Johnson wasn't to know that. Got a couple of decent fingers on it and put it over.
Chachow about to come on for Doherty in just a few moments, but the corner first of all from Saka will be taken here at the Emirates. Away to our left-hand side. It's in towards the near post. Johnson pats it down. It's hooked clear by João Gomez, and then back in by Declan Rice, and Johnston secures the ball from the sky, brings it down and dispatches upfield very, very quickly. But again, it's not going to reach its intended target, Strand Larsen, and go all the way through to Raya. The Arsenal supporters on their feet trying to urge their team forward. 0-0 is the score. They can't afford to get blown off course. Arsenal have to keep putting maximum points on the board if they want to win their first title since 2003-04. Strand Larsen about to come off as well. Rokadare is coming on. Martinelli off for now, but his replacement Trossard trying to get some joy here down the left-hand side. Fed in towards Rice. Rice making some room for the shot. Right-footed, brilliant save down to his left by Sam Johnson to keep it 0-0. Back into the box from the right-hand side from Timber. But boy, Rice's effort was hit with some venom, and Johnson had to get down to push it away. Superb. Here's Saka down the right side. Just overhit that ball from Timber. It goes out from Gomez and out for a throw-in over on the far side.
An absolutely top quality save that was. Rice has called it with whip, and what he's done really well, he's got a good firm parry to it to push it out the danger zone.
Matt Doherty coming off, the former Tottenham man who's a self-confessed Arsenal fan. He's getting booed as he comes off, and apparently number 9 is coming on for number 9, which obviously isn't going to happen because the ball is broken again. So the other change is going to be I think that's going to be Strand Larsen who's coming off, and on comes Tolu Rokadare. Rokodare has missed out on Nigerian selection. And Chachoa, who's also coming on, has missed out on selection by Cameroon at the AFCON, but they have got a couple of players that will go off to that tournament very shortly. Strand Larsen being congratulated on his performance. And Arsenal have a throw-in over on the far side, taken by Saliba, sent in by Rice towards the edge of the 6. It's headed away by Toti Gomez, and the pressure is certainly being ramped up. But in terms of shots on target, they've had just one in the whole game.
Yeah, I was just thinking exactly the same. I think the pressure's ranking up now, and I wouldn't be surprised if Arsenal break the deadlock anytime soon.
Corner kick far side, Saka to take it. 5 at the back post, 2 on the edge of the penalty area. Short is Ødegaard. It's a deep one towards the far post. It hits the post, comes off of Sam Johnson and goes in. It's an own goal. And Arsenal's 50th goal of the campaign, celebrated with gusto, because it's the final moment to break down a stubborn Wolves defence. An unfortunate own goal for Sam Johnston. The corner kick from Saka crashes off the inside of the far post, back off his head and into the net, and Arsenal finally in front against the bottom side in the Premier League. Arsenal 1, Wolves 0.
Well, just had a suspicion there. Pressure was ranking up, and to be fair, Sam Johnson's been absolutely outstanding, but he weren't on that occasion. In swinger, it was high, he's got a touch on it, he's touched it onto the post, and it's hit him square on the shoulder and bounced into the goal, and that's broken the deadlock.
Well, it's a really unlucky own goal for Sam Johnston, but it's a huge moment for Mikel Arteta. He celebrated wildly because he knew exactly how important that goal could be. They have toiled in front of goal throughout the course of the evening, Arsenal. They've only had one shot on target. They've still only had one shot on target. The own goal from Sam Johnston has gifted Arsenal the advantage after 70 minutes of this game. And now Stuart Pearce, maybe they can play with a little bit more freedom.
Well, they don't have to chase the game now. As I say, the threat from the front end of Wolves has been marginal because of the lack of pace, but it was a poor goal to concede. Goalkeeper's got to do a lot better than that. He's made an outstanding save just prior to that, and all of a sudden he's not dealt with an in-swinging corner.
Ball forward by Nkapie. Now Trossard trying to get in behind the defender. Mosquera comes across, rolls the ball away from him. Picked up by Andre, back into Mosquera, tries to lead an attack. He runs into Declan Rice. Jurrien Timber gets a block in. Rice gets hold of the ball, secures it, beats Mosquera, charges forward. Look at Trossard, he's free inside the penalty area. He chests it down, he takes it far too wide and then falls over.
I'm looking at Mosquera there. He's run, he's gone like a runaway train across the pitch, didn't have a clue where he was going, loses the ball and stops stone dead and watches his team under pressure. Just ridiculous. And that probably might be why Wolverhampton are in the situation they're in for interactions like that.
Exactly. By the way, just for clarity, the referee's call of yellow card for the foul by Hwang was checked and confirmed by VAR, with Hwang deemed to be pulling out of the challenge on Lewis Skelly and the contact on the foot deemed to be a reckless foul.
I think that was a good explanation, personally. He was pulling away from it.
There you go. Here is Gyökeres tussling with Mosquera. Turns it back into Trossard, who skips past one challenge, feeds it back into Gyökeres again. Gyökeres trying to turn, and then he plays it straight into the midriff of Krejci. Then he tries to win it back. Marino does win it back. It's pulled to the ground by Krejci. That's going to be a free kick inside the centre circle. 1-0 to the Arsenal. It's currently the scoreline. Arsenal and Wolves at the Emirates Stadium. The latest odds are available from Betfair, the official betting partner of Talksport's Premier League coverage. Right now, you can get Arsenal to win at 33-1 on, Wolves to win at 150-1. The draw is 14-1. That's all thanks to Betfair. Play in a different league this season with Safe Sub from Betfair. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Yeah, there's an air of calm now around the stadium. That goal certainly has settled the nerves of many a supporter.
Here is Saka trying to add to the advantage down the right-hand side. Gets into the penalty area. Ødegaard weaves forward, bounce through, shoots into the side netting. As he gets to the edge of the 6-yard box, it just bounced up kindly for him. He slammed it goalwards. It hits the side netting. It goes behind and away for a goal kick.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Wolves are looking a little bit more fragile defensively. I think Rob Edwards just signalling down the touchline now to his substitution, and they don't seem to be wanting to get eye contact to come on, to be quite honest with you.
Well, you know it's been a sorry season when you concede an own goal like that in a game where you've defended, relatively well, or at least you've earned the right to be in the game after 70 minutes. It's a horrible goal to concede, but no side has conceded more own goals than Wolves this season, and I don't think that's just bad luck.
Yeah, no, it certainly isn't. It's poor decision making, poor ability. And you've got a situation there, the manager's shouting down the touchline. There's 3 or 4 subs warming up down the far end, and they're all looking at each other. Is it me? Is it you? Is it me? You've just got all of you en masse to come down to the manager and say, which one do you want?
Lewis Skelly on the left-hand side. On to Trossard now for Arsenal, who lead by a 0-0. Up towards Gyökeres, who's using his body well. Trying to turn, shoots to the far corner. It's narrowly wide of the goal. Well, it was brilliant from Gyökeres, who's growing in stature actually in the last few minutes. He's just shrugged off a challenge. He's brought the ball down. He's turned. He's fired towards the far stick. It was just a little bit wide of the goal from Victor Gyökeres, who's getting closer to getting his first goal since coming back from injury.
Yeah, and this back line now, the central defensive partnership of 3 for Wolverhampton, are looking very, very shaky in their decision making. And Johnston done well not getting a touch on that. He would have left it in the danger zone for a tap in for Saka if he had.
2 changes for the away side. For Lopez coming on for Krejci. John Arias coming on for Hwang Hee-chan. They're the 2 changes in the next few minutes here on Talksport. 15 minutes to go. Tomorrow we'll take you around the grounds from 1:30. Monday Night Football comes from Old Trafford. It's Manchester United against Bournemouth. We'll have Steve Bruce in the commentary box for that one on Monday night. Looking forward to that. Carabao Cup quarter-final action Tuesday and Wednesday night for you. Cardiff, Chelsea, Manchester City, Brentford, Newcastle, Fulham, all available for you this midweek. One in midfield by João Gomez, who's turned the ball over. He's found Hwang on the edge of the area. A chance to try and get a shot away from inside the box for Arokadare. He can't quite sort his feet out, and it's cleared away. Saka up to Marino. Marino flicks the ball out to Trossard, who canters over the halfway line now. And numbers are streaming forward. The Arsenal red is coming in waves to the edge of the penalty area. Saka tries to centre the ball. It's stopped by Mosquera, and it's cleared towards the halfway line. Arokadare trying to get the better of Nkapie. Could battle that. Nkapie wins the ball and gets it back to his goalkeeper. Hearts 2-0 up now in their game away at Falkirk. It means that they will go 6 points clear at the top of the table, but Celtic still have 2 games in hand. Celtics play tomorrow in the League Cup final. And it's a massive game for Wilfred Nancy. We'll cover that on the Game Day Live from 1:30. Arias and Fer Lopez still waiting to come on. Miles Lewis Skelly down the left, feeding the ball into the path of Leandro Trossard of Belgium. Now Ødegaard. The Norwegian takes it wide to the left-hand side, feeds it back in field. Nkapie, Ødegaard, back to Trossard. Trossard tries to find another route out. Again, they're hunting impact Wolves, but Arsenal are still coming.
They're setting the tempo, Arsenal, aren't they? It's slow, quick, slow from their point of view. And Wolves, the more the game goes on, the more the recovery runs are a little bit slower each time.
Well, for a large period in this game, you could cut the tension with a knife. The ghosts of that last second defeat against Aston Villa were echoing around the Emirates. Arsenal will now be desperate to ensure that they don't let anything slip from this position. They're in command of the game. Up they come with Timber. Into Saka. Saka starting to race into the box, looking to release Ødegaard, but his pass was a little bit too heavy into the path of his captain, and it's cut out by Mosquera and cleared away. Good challenge there from Declan Rice, just to get in front of Arokadare. He brings the ball down, looks up, and they're on the front foot again, Arsenal. Still, John Arias and Fer Lopez waiting to come on down in front of us. But no stoppage in play means they can't arrive on the scene. Timber far side to Saka. Saka on the angle of the penalty area as Arsenal look to just step forward again. Lifted over the top by Rice, looking for Saka. Headed away by Toti Gomez. Comes out to Timber. Timber to Odegaard. Odegaard with a chance to get a shot away from the edge of the area, and he's overhit that. And it's ballooned behind and away for a goal kick out to our left-hand side. Going to be the changes confirmed here. And on comes Arias and Fer Lopez. Off comes Ladislav Krejci. He's the first one to go. And the other change is going to be Wang.
To be replaced by 10, John Arias.
Yeah, Rob Edwards just trying to fresh it up now, get some fresh legs on. Hopefully, with these last 10 minutes or so left remaining, they'll get a counter-attack opportunity and catch Arsenal chasing a second.
Well, Arias is certainly quite speedy. The 28-year-old Colombian, he signed from Fluminense. He's a short, low centre of gravity. Does win a lot of fouls as well, so he might generate a set-piece opportunity for Wolverhampton Wanderers late in the game. 10 minutes to go here. Fer Lopez is another one of those that was signed in the summer. He followed Strad Larsson's path from Celta Vigo. Only one Premier League start. He's sort of quite slight, he's technical, he's a playmaker in midfield, and he'll go in to try and add something a little bit different. Gabriel Jesus is about to come on for Arsenal. He's going to come on for Victor Gyökeres. How have you made of Victor Gyökeres' performance? Because he's under a little bit of pressure with the arrival of Jesus back from injury.
Yeah, I would say it's probably been a 6 out of 10, I think, for me. He's not really caught the eye, but it's been a difficult game for a centre forward to get any purchase on.
One shot so far, 15 touches, one tackle, 50% passing accuracy. Gabriel Jesus making his first appearance at the Emirates since that ACL injury. Comes off the bench and looks to try and influence proceedings at the end of the game. He hasn't scored since New Year's Day 2025. It will be a welcome return if he can come up with a clinching goal here with 10 minutes to go. And that's how long we've got left at the Emirates Stadium for Arsenal to see this game out. Hasn't been pretty, certainly hasn't been the route that many predicted against a team with only 2 points on the board, but champions win when they aren't playing well, and right now Arsenal are doing just enough to get over the line here against bottom place Wolverhampton Wanderers. Jesus has won it back after a mistake by Fer Lopez. He's gone down the left touchline, trying to take on Mosquera, who's just positioned himself well enough to get in front of the Brazilian, and from the left-hand side of the pitch he's got the ball back to Sam Johnson. Clearance comes back via Saka though, and then on to Odegaard, back to Saka in the right wing position, coming forward for Arsenal, looking to add to the scoreline here. It's collected by Declan Rice, then back out to the far touchline and Timber, returned into the centre, and with Declan Rice again. Odegaard drops, looks to try and pick it up now and pull the strings from just behind the attack. He goes wide out towards the right. And again, it's just a little bit too sedate from Arsenal. They just need to try and find a way to pierce the back line. I mean, Rob Edwards' team have looked a lot more organised, haven't they, today?
Yeah, I think they've been pretty dogged. They've been fortunate that something clear-cut hasn't fell to Arsenal, but the stats don't lie. Efforts at goal have been a real premium for Arsenal. So you've got to give some credit to Wolverhampton for that.
Brilliant from Marino to win the ball and combine well with Saka. He finds Odegaard edge of the area. On the other side is Trossard joining the attack. A right-footed shot drawn low down towards the near post. It almost caught out everybody. It was just wide of the right-hand upright and snuggled into the inside side netting. It was a really good opportunity from Trossard, who caught out defender and goalkeeper there for a second.
Yeah, I'm not sure he had the angle to actually get it inside that post, but it certainly wrong-footed the goalkeeper and defender.
7 minutes to go. Talksport, and you're listening to Wolverhampton Wanderers and Arsenal with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Here for it. Book now at enterprise.co.uk. Arokadare chesting the ball down, sending it into the path of Fer Lopez. A little bit of an up and under, a grubber kick, which invited David Raya to come out and head the ball from the edge of the penalty area. He's done just that. He's nodded the ball out of play, and it goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. We've got darts going on over on Talksport 2 right now, and the Talksport YouTube channel. There's full commentary of the Darts World Championships at Alexandra Palace. That continues throughout the course of what is a brilliant couple of weeks of action. And and I've discussed every year going to Ali Pali, haven't we? We thought that one year we thought we might go as a pantomime horse.
It's all coming back to me now. That was correct, wasn't it?
Yeah, last year we talked about it, didn't we?
Yeah, we couldn't work out who was going to be the other's end.
Yes. Well, after your Brussels sprout conversation in the first half,
fair point, it's got to be
definitely
me.
the back end.
Say no more. I wouldn't put you through that, big man.
I wouldn't put Ali Pali through that. Here's Erdegaard over on the far side, trying to nudge the ball forward into the path of Timber. Ball has been played into Fer Lopez, and he's trying to turn and guide it back towards halfway where Toti Gomez has got hold of it. Arsenal breaking the deadlock after a Sam Johnson own goal. Bukayo Saka deserves a lot of credit because he was the one who curled the ball to the far post. It hit the inside of the post and then smacked off the head of the goalkeeper, who made a bit of a misjudgment, and it remains 1-0 to Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus is on, and he starts to lead the counter-attack. His ball was behind Trossard though, and it was not a great one. Trossard sends it into a central area for Marino, then down the left it goes, but they're all on different wavelengths. I know there's been a few changes over the last couple of days. Obviously they made quite a few changes in the game in the Champions League. They've made more changes today. They've had new players coming back from injury as well, so everyone's a little bit rusty and maybe out of sorts. Marino's playing in a deeper position now when he's used to playing as a false nine and has been doing that for a little while, but it hasn't really clicked for Arsenal for most of this game.
No, that is definitely the case. They'll look at this one, and as they often do on a championship season, if they get over the line, you just say, we'll take the result, we'll take the clean sheet, and then be more than happy with that.
Well, another change for Wolverhampton Wanderers, who bring on Matheus Mane, a under-18 England international, who comes on for his 5th substitute appearance of the season. He replaces Totti, and he goes straight up front, or out towards the left-hand side, to act as another member of the attacking battalion. So they've just switched the formation here, and Mane is on the ball now, over on the left-hand side, trying to get into the penalty area, and he's played it against Saliba, and that's showed too much to the Frenchman, who's guided the ball down the touchline, and it's cleared away by Arsenal. Marino and Jesus going for the ball. Mosquera commits a little bit of a foul, but the referee's not giving it. Jesus certainly thought it was a foul. Not sure that anybody in Wolverhampton Wanderers colours was keen to concede that. And Wolves now starting to throw a bit more forward as we go into the final 4 minutes of the game. They've got nothing to lose given their position, but if Arsenal can hold on, this will be a big psychological hurdle going into a week where they've got no midweek games for the first time over the course of the last few weeks. It's been really congested, the schedule, but not now. They don't play until they venture to Everton next Saturday night. They've got a quick turnaround for the Crystal Palace Carabao Cup tie here before they go to Brighton on the 27th. But this next week will be a chance to replenish some sore limbs, some aching bones after what's been a real tough start to the season. But they'll have an extra lead at the top of the table tonight if they can hold this. Cross into the box, sent in towards the edge of the 6 by Chichoa, picked up by Mane on the other side, back into the area it goes. Jesus will get it away, and he thunders the ball out on this near touchline, and it goes up over the halfway line. But for the first time, Wolves chucking bodies forward and trying to create problems for Arsenal.
They certainly are. They've got players up in the forward line now, which is a rarity for them.
Ball is far side, and it's collected by John Arias and then turned back infield It goes all the way through to Agbadou, who's on halfway. 1-0 the score here to Arsenal. There might be a few more nervous and tense moments waiting for the whistle, especially as Arakadare is going through the centre here, and he's been picked up by Fer Lopez, and across comes Declan Rice and just about gets there and manages to clear it away. And there is a little bit of nervous tension inside the stadium, because all of a sudden Wolves are just showing a bit of a threat.
Yeah, they are, and I think Fer Lopez there should have shot himself personally when he's played it forward. Carey couldn't just sort his feet out in time.
Here they come again, down that left-hand side. John Arias leading the charge. He's got Mane in front of him. He goes back to Wolfer instead. And now it's with Andre in the dead centre of the Arsenal half. Agbadou looking to break the line, sends it forward, up into the path of João Gomez. Now Ochoa on this near side. They're keeping the ball for the first time as well. And Arsenal just looking a little bit more nervous. They've dropped deep towards the edge of their penalty area here as they look to try and hold on the game. There's going to be 6 additional minutes at the end of the game, so there's at least 7 still to play.
Yeah, they just can't fashion an angle or put the ball in the box, and that's what they need to do, put numbers in on that front line.
Well, Fer Lopez has got it now. He can usually deliver a ball into the box, but he's gone backwards rather than trying to get it into the area. They've gone back to the other side again to John Arias. He now looks to try and drive towards the angle of the penalty area. He's got Saka in front of him. It's in towards Wolfer. Back out to Mane. Mane now with a chance to cross. He does cross into Arakadare, who then benefits from the fact that they didn't clear properly. Tries to chest it down, but eventually cleared by Arsenal. But again, it's a Wolves shirt that gets there first. And Mosquera drives forward down the inside right channel. Gives it to Ochoa, who wants to get the crossing. He shovels the ball in left-footed. Away by Timber. Out as far as João Gomez. Into the area for Fer Lopez. Back to João Gomez again. He lofts the ball to the far post. Headed down by Arias. Arias finds Mane. Edge of the area. Bit of tension in the air. A cross in towards the near post. And Arakadare is there to score. A glancing header past David Raya in a flash. And it's happening again. The lowest scorers in the Premier League have just cracked the top flight's top defence, and they may well have cracked the confidence of Arsenal, who are going to drop points in the title race again.
Well, I've got to say, Kadara's offered a physical presence. He's certainly been a focal point, but Wolves have got further up the pitch now. Arsenal have sat back and they paid the penalty for a deflected ball into the box. They managed to get an angle eventually to put the ball in the box, and just having a look, checking it's onside. Yes, it is. A great glancing header, I've got to say. Raya no chance, totally wrong footed. He's got to follow the flight of the ball.
Well, the substitutes combining. Mane with the cross, Arakadare with the header. It's a brilliant header as well. 6'6" tall. He gets in front of Nkapie and he nods the ball past the goalkeeper, and it's 1-1 at the Emirates, and Arsenal are facing another game where they're dropping points in the title race, and this time they're doing so against the worst team in the land.
Well, not on this performance, they're not, it's fair to say, and I'll tell you what, I've got a feeling there's another goal in this game.
Well, Arsenal will certainly hope that that's the case, because as it stands at the moment, they're dropping points once more, and they surely cannot keep affording to do that. This will be the 4th time in the last 6 Premier League games that they have thrown away points. And Manchester City will be watching this with glee. If it stays like this, Arsenal have taken just 5 points from the last 12 available. That is not title-winning form. All sorts of delays going on down in front of us now as Wolves try to run down the clock. We're in the 92nd minute.
Yeah, in the scheme of things, I'm not sure a point's any good for Wolves anyway, but it's those small wins that they're desperate for, and Rob Edwards just to give a feel-good factor in this dressing room.
It might not be enough to win anything other than just a point for Wolverhampton Wanderers, but I tell you what it is, it's absolutely massive in the title race. And Arsenal, who are having a wobble, and now they're having a slide. This was not on the agenda. Ball down the right-hand side. Out comes the goalkeeper, and David Raya will collect it for Arsenal and try and get them on the front foot. And boy, do they need to get on the front foot here, because the nerves, the tension and the frustration inside the Emirates are palpable now. Wolves minutes away from grabbing a point here at the Emirates Stadium. And you know that the Arsenal fans who have seen so many leads frittered away before will start to get that sinking feeling again. Saka with a cross into the box. Jesus is there! And he's rescued it for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus, with the first goal since New Year's Day, scores the goal that saves face for Arsenal, puts 3 points on the board and wins them the match.
Well, I don't know what it was. I just had a feeling there was a bit more, another twist or turn in this game, and kept tossing the ball in the box. If you switch off, I've got to say Jesus was brilliant, then got across the front man, and a glancing header left Johnson absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Oh, it's absolutely brilliant from Gabriel Jesus. Another brilliant ball into the box by Saka. Left-footed arcing delivery to the edge of the 6-yard box, and he jumped and he rose and he glanced it into the far corner, and it's a monumental moment for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. And listen to that roar. Welcome back, Gabriel Jesus. You are the star of the show.
I think that's an own goal, Sam. I've just had a look at that again. I think it's an own goal.
Well, he's claiming it.
And I would as well if I was him.
And they have given it to him. Well, he was up there. It may well be Mosquera who got the final touch on it. Saka's ball into the box caused the damage. I'm not sure that Jesus got anything on it.
Yeah, Mosquera's headed it in his own net.
It's Mosquera who got the final touch, but Mikel Arteta does not care. Jesus again, whose mere presence is being lauded at every turn now. Ball sent forward towards the edge of the penalty area. Arsenal are going to get away with it.
Well, Reyes just took the ball right to the edge of his box, and the Wolverhampton players just ambled towards him. To be fair, I wouldn't say they've got out of jail, Arsenal. They've been the better side, we know that. But they've not created too many clear-cut chances, that's for sure.
Well, they waited right to the very end to do so, and there's more late drama in games involving Arsenal, but they look like they're going to get over the line. A tackle from Trossard is cheered, and Capier tries to put it out of play. It goes out for a throw-in on this near side. We've nearly played our 96 minutes of football here. There's a bit of a tussle off the ball with Mosquera and Trossard, and now the referee is coming over to book Yezran Mosquera. He just waves it away. He says he's not interested, he wants to get on with it. Mosquera to take a throw-in. Amazing, really. There wasn't much going on for 90 minutes of this game.
There is now.
We've had absolute drama for the last 10. 3 minutes and 9 seconds between those goals. Here is Yerson Mosquera with the ball. The Wolves fans looking forlorn over on the far side. How's your luck? Ball into the box, headed away by Marino. Picked up by Aracadore, who's trying to turn it forward. It's cleared away by Trossard, and there's space to run into here for Jesus, and he's got Trossard in attendance. Jesus is speeding away. He gets to the edge of the penalty area. He gets into the box. He's got no power in the shot when he releases it, and it's saved down low to his left by Johnston, and he then pummels it upfield. Aracadore, who's trying to get on the end of it. It's headed away by Saliba. The Arsenal crowd want the whistles. They want the referee to blow for full time. Saka trying to go down the right-hand side. Agbadou gets in his way. Free kick given. Arsenal have the ball over on the far side, and still after 97 minutes up on the clock, we have no indication as how much time they're still going to add on here. Rob Edwards looks absolutely forlorn. He looks gutted. Wolves know that they're creeping towards a Premier League record for a winless start of the season. A record held by Sheffield United. It's going to be almost similar next time around. It'll be 9 defeats in a row for Wolves, 9 defeats in a row against the Gunners. They're in the worst run of form since fluorescent odd socks, mullets, cords and Stuart Pearce were in fashion. It's funny how things come around again.
They always come round again.
But Arsenal, well, they might just win the title for the first time in 21 years. And if they do, they'll look back on tonight as a key moment. It could have gone south.
Yeah, it could have done. Wolves didn't come here and lie down, that's for sure.
Arsenal coming forward again. 98 now on the clock as the ball goes down the right side, runs out of play. It's goal kick away to our left, and surely now the whistle is about to blow. Well, Jesus' presence had an influence. Listen to that roar. Wolves will be bottom at Christmas and are certain for the drop, but Arsenal, well, maybe, just maybe, they're playing in a different league. Wolves made it incredibly hard for them, but Arsenal got the job done in the end. They weren't at their best, but when the chips were down and they thought they were going to drop points in the title race, they came up with a goal when it mattered most. Saka with 2 assists, 2 vital assists to steal the show for Arsenal. And an own goal from Yerson Mosquera and an own goal from Sam Johnson have powered the Gunners to an 11th Premier League win of the season. It re-establishes for now a bit of daylight between them and Manchester City, and shows that Mikel Arteta and his team have the character and the resolve to handle a blip. Wolves have failed to win any of their first 16 matches of the Premier League season. The misery continues. They were so unlucky not to take something from this game, but failed to beat Brentford next week, and they will join Sheffield United as the worst starters in Premier League history. But this is about Arsenal. This is about another late show, but this week it's theirs to enjoy. Arsenal 2, Wolves 1.
Sam, thank you very much indeed. Arsenal were far from their blistering best, but I tell you what, they got the job done. It may have taken 2 own goals, but wow, you hear the fans going past us screaming into my mic, come on Arsenal. Do you know what? The atmosphere in this stadium was, you could cut through it like a knife going into that second half, because the fans were so expectant. They couldn't believe what they saw in that first half. It did take a bit of luck, but Arsenal have got the job done today, and you have to feel sad for Wolves. You can see the look on Rob Edwards' face right now. He's clapping his fans, but he knows that this is a big opportunity that was missed for them. It may not have made the difference in terms of where Wolves will end up at the end of the season, but in terms of confidence, in terms of moving forward in the rest of this league and what's left of the competition for this season, they needed a bit of something. It remains to be seen really what they will take from this and how they can move forward, and if they can regroup and do something better and put on better performances going forward. But tonight, as Sam rightly said, does belong to Arsenal. They will be top at Christmas. I've got to say, Stuart Pearce, 2 own goals for Arsenal today. No team swashbuckles their way to a title. You're looking at a full Premier League season. It's never going to be without its blips. But for Arsenal today, does that show that there is more resolve than we've seen in them before?
Definitely. I think there's more confidence and there's more depth in this squad than we've seen over recent years when they've come up and finished second in the division. That, you know, they've got a bit of everything in this squad. You know, if it's not working, they'll go to the bench and bring players on that are on form. They didn't even bring Madueke on today, and we talked about him being on supreme form at the moment, you know, so shows the strength of the team at the moment. But teams, when you're top of the league, teams don't turn up and roll over. You know, they come here, even the likes of Wolves, who we give absolutely no chance of getting a result here, they push you to the nth degree. And if you don't get that early goal, like the Reverend Perry Groves said earlier, you can have a problem.
Yeah. Was it mental resolve that got them through, or was it just bad luck and bad decisions from Wolves?
I think you've got to keep asking the question of a Wolverhampton backline to get the right answer. I think eventually they kept asking the right question, and Wolves will be very, very disappointed in the 2 goals that they conceded, I think.
Yeah. Victor Gyökeres was on for large parts of the game, and then he was substituted off, and Gabriel Jesus came on. They thought he was the one who got the goal. In the end, it was chalked off as an own goal. But is Gyökeres doing enough for this team, in your opinion? Because there were a few opportunities he had where right place, but just couldn't get the ball in the back of the net?
On this performance, you'd have to say no. You know, he probably needs to do a little bit more, but he's probably played, you know, when we've covered England, we look at Harry Kane at times and we think, look at the amount of touches, so limited. It's a difficult position to play when teams play that deep against you.
Yeah, and this is it. They did play very deep. What did we learn about Arsenal and how they deal with low blocks tonight?
I think they chipped away really well early in the first half. They got in behind on this right-hand side on several occasions, but couldn't find a telling cross that wasn't blocked. And then all of a sudden, that sort of dried up slightly, but they've got so much talent in it. They probe in one area, and if they don't get any joy there, they probe in another. Don't get any joy there, they'll dig to they'll go to a set play. They've scored from a set play today. Whichever way you look at it, they've scored from a set play again. It's all part of the game.
It's all part of the game, isn't it? Let's have a word on Wolverhampton Wanderers. You have to feel for them, because the moment they got that equaliser, sort of felt they deserve it for the endeavour that they put in today.
Yeah, listen, we love an underdog, and they were massive underdogs today. But when it went 1-1, I just had the impression, and I said to Sam on air there, I think there's another goal in this.
Yeah, you did say that.
You know, and you just had a feeling Arsenal...